What's up, nerd family? We're here. It's just taking us a minute. Sorry, guys. Got some flowers. Meta alert. Uh-oh. It's a meta alert. Oh, we dropped the flowers. Darn it.
They're not real iris.
Yeah.
And Chesapeake Rock's ready to assist you in all your superhero needs.
Why are you two on calm?
We're the only ones here. Frost is at Argus, checking out blood work. Cisco's off the grid, cataloging post-crisis metas. Iris is on a story.
And Ralph is who knows where tracing down to nearby. Okay, no worries, I'll do this solo.
Are you sure you don't want some help? Because, I am ready, willing, and caffeinated, sir. Put me in, coach.
That's Chester, but I'm good.
Pied Piper. No, wait. Does this have shows Pied Piper in my screen? You know Grodd was in this episode. Who? Grodd.
Hartley Rathaway. Since when are you a diamond thief? It's Pied Piper, Flash? You're really gonna ask me that after what you and your friends did to me? What did we do? Wow, Flash.
My brother, that is epically cold. I do not remember. It was really bad.
Oh, great. Crisis change. Apparently there's something else you don't remember. Now they're just my backup singers.
That's new.
Wow. Hey, he can fly now.
No worries, Flash. Pete Rook is all over it. That sonic boom has a specific frequency. If I scan for the same wavelengths,
Flash, Rathway's at 52nd and Palm.
All right, I'm on it. I'll take Broadway.
I wouldn't do that, sir.
Why not? Since when was there a train here?
Since always.
Crisis change.
There we go.
I love that new intro. I've been saying it every week, but I just love the intro.
Yeah. More comic book.
System update complete. Is there anything else, Barry Allen?
Just one more tweak. In the meantime, I wouldn't mind knowing everything the press has changed before I run back into the field.
Calculating. Calculating. Calculating.
Ugh.
Barry Allen is the Flash.
Yeah, I already knew that.
What? Actually, you know what? When I think about it, it does kind of make sense. The whole Star Labs super facility, plus the same voice every time the Flash came to visit me at the Mac. And that jawline, though, very distinctive.
Listen, guys, I'm sorry. I'm kind of busy right now.
Well, what are you working on?
Analysis complete, Barry Allen. I've calculated approximately 3.725 trillion changes. Would you like to hear them in order of causality?
Is this a mobile interactive artificial intelligence unit?
Yeah, it is. I'm just trying to upgrade
7
it.
trillion changes post-crisis.
No, you just flip the positron slowly on your brain.
Hey, please, don't mess with that. It's sensitive stuff, and you're not on the team, Chester.
Yeah, totally. I guess I'll cross the whole superhero tech support off my list of career possibilities. Anyways, if you'll excusez-moi, I'm jitters bound.
He's just trying to help.
I know. So much has changed after Crisis. This morning when I got the meta alert, I was trying to find my parents' graves. There's not even a cemetery there anymore. I've searched every graveyard in Central City. I still can't find him. It just feels like a piece of me is missing. And friends like Hartley Rockaway are enemies now. Just everything is so different.
I'll bet hearing different voices on comms doesn't help either. You want something familiar. It's not us.
Yeah, I didn't mean it like that.
It's okay, Barry. I understand. Just maybe take it easy on Chester. If he seems a little overeager, it's because he idolizes the Flash. You're his hero. I'll let you get back to it.
I think she'll take the Caitlin spot for the rest of the
There's
season.
gotta be some sort of logic to it.
And then Chester will take the Cisco
Walk me
spot.
through the night of the particle accelerator explosion again.
That's my guess.
Yeah.
What were you doing?
Like I told you. I was starting Arkham tests that night. I just finished the prototype. My life's work was ready.
Wait, you finished building your machine?
I said.
Can you build one here?
I did, but we can't use it.
Eva, we at least have to try. What are you so afraid of?
Eva, I get it. I do. But I've read your research. You were brilliant. You were the best in your field. And that is good enough for me.
Word.
You're so brave. I guess we'll be brave together then.
So this is a residual particle catcher. It can detect and detain molecular afterglow of things.
Okay. And you need me to do what?
Well, I need you to help me charge it so I can catch them. Particles. Catch the particles.
Why are you so nervous? And what are these particles you're trying to catch?
And nothing, they're scientific anomalies. You wouldn't understand.
There's the Nashwells we know and can barely stand. And I'm guessing anomalies because of crisis. Boss lady told me.
Well, you never did like being kept in the dark, did you?
Why do you always act like you've known me forever? It's weird.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, that's not true, is it?
Whoa!
Sherlock.
It's Sherlock!
Such a liar.
I mean, it's yes, the residual particle catcher is ready. Thank you. So, if you would, please, can you
So it's not Nash?
let me charge it?
No, it's Nash,
Blast it with
but-
an ultra-powered UV
He's
ray
seeing
right there.
different wells
He's
now.
seeing different wells.
Where?
There.
Oh.
He just saw Sherlock. He was just seeing Earth 2 wells.
Absorption
So
pattern.
is it like all the wells are becoming one wells?
Keep your pants
That,
on.
that could be Raw combining into him.
Look at that, Barney.
His tail's going around a minute.
Think they're all gonna be one wells? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, what did
Picture of her and him.
Are you okay?
Who the hell is she?
It's just someone I used to know.
Well, she looks a lot like my doppelganger. Why do you have a picture of her?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It does! To me! Dude, this is too weird. You know, I had a feeling something was off with you from the beginning, but I kept ignoring it because I was just happy to find another person who actually believed in me.
Okay.
But this whole time, when you looked at me, you saw this other person. That is messed up, you know.
That's not what she wanted to say.
All right. Let's try this again, Gideon.
Watch it. What's up, everybody? I don't have a device.
This is what everybody said from the beginning. Total now.
What's going on? Who's here? What's up, Sebastian? What's up, Gavin? What's up, William? Obviously, Tiftastic is here. Who else is here? Hey, Sebastian, you're awesome. Thank you so much for that. We appreciate that. You are awesome. Ramik, yeah. Why is this happening to Nash?
Yeah.
This is crazy. First of all, we're glad to be back. Tiffany and I have been gone for the last. Hey! We got dogs doing crazy stuff. Y'all need to go. Sorry, it's live. Can't help it. Y'all need to stay away from the camera.
I know one thing that Cisco said before he left is he thinks that Nash is the only Harrison Wells left.
Yeah.
So maybe he's seeing the ones like from before Crisis that like we've seen the past 6 years.
Maybe.
And he's just seeing them before we get the new Wells, like from saying like our last goodbyes to like those Wells before seeing the new ones.
I don't know. I hope we get at least one of the Wells back.
Unless
we
he turns like a split kind of thing with the Wells.
Okay, we're just different Wells. Every week is a different. Now that would be something because like we always talk about his acting ability.
Yeah.
About how he's always able to like pull off these different characters.
Yeah, each season he plays a new version of himself.
Right. So that'd be interesting. I don't know, but anyways, it's good to be back, guys. It's good to be back with y'all on the couch here. It's not just Isaac tonight.
Yep.
We got Tiftastic, who's making her way in here. The beautiful, lovely Tiftastic, who's wearing flash earrings.
Leopard pants and flash earrings.
She's gonna be climbing over.
Fast. Too bad they're not cheetah pants. It'd be like lightning. Like, meow.
That's
Totally.
in June.
What?
That's in June. Wonder Woman.
All kinds of DC stuff to talk about after this. After we do the review, we do talk nerdy to me tonight.
Excuse me?
Man, stuff I'm not so sure about for DC. Lots of DC news. So I can't wait to talk about that with y'all tonight. It's going to be good. I'm just glad to be back in here with you guys.
Yes.
Having some fun, watching some shows,
One thing I think though is it's
eating
like
some popcorn.
with Barry trying to find his parents' graves, I think there's somewhere he just hasn't found them yet. Because
Yeah.
Oliver left his parents. Well, left his dad's and his.
No.
So I don't think he'd leave his dad's and his, but not leave Barry's parents.
Yeah.
With how close they were.
Thanks again, Sebastian, for that
Oh, good.
super chat.
Wait.
Appreciate you.
Caitlin, thank God. What the hell's going on? I mean, 1 minute I'm in the speed lab fixing Giddy, and the next thing I know I'm here. My speed's gone.
Quite the little chatterbox today, aren't we?
What? Why are you talking to me like that? And why am I in a cage? Caitlin, let me out of here.
Easy, killer.
Reverse flash?
Look at Sesame Mist.
You're quite the specimen, aren't you?
From his ear and
Go to hell.
short-circuited.
I don't know how you managed to drag me back to the past. Whatever all this is, I will stop you.
Cranky. Why did you offer him the B word?
Maybe he just needs some privacy. I'm gonna go check on Ronnie. He's working on a new space he's very excited about. He's calling it the pipeline.
The pipeline. I like the sound of that.
Almost all of her shots are from the waist up and like walking away.
Hey, baby girl. Do what do I owe the pleasure of this visit?
Well, a good lead, hopefully. I am working on our black hole story, and I have reached a major dead end, and I was hoping that maybe you found something new on Joseph Carver that could help.
As a matter of fact, I have, but I can't share it with you.
Are you being serious?
Look, this Carver case has become a RICO investigation. I have to report directly to Chief Singh. We have to do everything by the book.
Barry told me that you were the one that gave him the advice to trust me with the mirror gun, and now you can't even trust me with this?
Well, that weapon was Team Flash territory. This is CCPD business, and it has to stay that way. Otherwise, Carver could skate with a collusion charge.
Dad, Carver is mine. You can't just shut me out.
Whoa.
Remember, she's married.
I didn't mean that. This just, it really
Yeah,
means
this
a lot
is
to me.
I
frozen.
can see that. I mean, girl, there is nothing I can do. My hands are tied. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
it's
sorry,
not charging. That's why. Here we go.
We both have a job to
We're
do,
back.
and I respect
Yeah, it's
that.
not charging. That's why. We're down to 20%.
I'm about to get some lunch. Do you maybe want to join me for some big belly burger?
Can't really.
I would love.
Yeah, we're back.
I got a few things to finish, okay?
Yeah, no worries. You want to meet me there at noon?
That's perfect.
Hold on a second. We're gonna go out for just a second. We'll be right back.
One game.
There we
I
go.
spent the last
We're
2
back.
hours at Argus talking to Ramsey. I do not want to play pinball. Besides, I know the only reason you're hanging around is because you want to work things out with Barry, so just go do it.
Well, I'm working my way up to it. It's just, up until today, the worst thing I'd ever done before is drown my grandmother's car.
Hey, Sebastian.
Don't try to build her.
But if you didn't hear me before, thank you again for the super chat.
Didn't you create a literal black hole over Central City?
Oh, you think Barry's still mad about that too?
Would you stop?
No, I wasn't even awake when that happened.
I mean, it's not like you killed him.
I might have.
Was he in a, is that meaning in his own head?
I can't help you if you won't talk to me. Use your signs.
What are you doing?
Oh, I think he's Grodd?
Nothing.
Well, everybody's got good days and bad days. Gorillas are no different. This isn't the past. Mine's game. I'm in. That's right, Marianne. You're in Grodd's mind now.
Wow.
So I'm glad to see. This is a good.
right.
Oh,
No, it's just from last week's.
oh. I'm glad to see that this is shaping up to be a pretty good episode
Yeah.
because I'll be honest with you, the last 3 episodes
Yeah.
were kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
They really weren't
They
that
were
good.
getting better, but they're still not where Flash normally is.
Yeah, ever since Crisis, it seems like they just kind of like, it was like
On
filler
the end.
episode after filler episode after filler episode. This one actually seems to be going someplace, and I'm digging this. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I feel the same way. I like how this week.
We do too, Sebastian.
Is that John Cena?
That's one thing I was saying last week when I was like watching. I was like, it's starting a lot faster than it was the previous 2. So I like how it's doing the same thing with this. It's still.
Yep.
It keeps that like quicker pace at the beginning, and it's still continuing it like 20 minutes in.
Yes. What are you doing? A dog's like all over the place.
Yeah, and then there's 3.7 trillion different changes from post-crisis.
Right? There's like all these different changes and stuff.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what's the deal with his parents, what's the deal with Nash.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're becoming one.
Is that connected to Reverse Flash in any way?
Why is he in Grodd's mind?
No, that wouldn't make sense. Because it's like, well, Oliver brought back his mom post-crisis.
Okay.
Because his mom died in season 2. So it was. So I was like, what if he brought back Barry's parents? But it's like we would have heard from them by now.
Yeah.
And I didn't hear anything about them coming back as series regulars.
No.
So yeah, I don't know. That'll be something we'll probably figure out.
I just want to see the show return to its form. You know.
Which
Now-
it feels like it's starting to.
Because
Yeah.
right now it doesn't have that evil group except for Black Hole. But Black Hole doesn't seem like anything right now.
Mm-hmm.
Especially since we haven't seen that assassin and Iris is still in the mirror.
Plus, Dibney's not around. You got Vibe, who's going on a sabbatical, and then what's her face is going to be leaving for a while because she's preggers.
William says the show just gets more confusing all the time. Well, you know, for a longest time it hasn't, but now all of a sudden it's like, you know, after Crisis, we got like all these differences and changes and stuff.
Before Crisis, it was really good.
I guess the thing for me too is like I'm really hoping that you know, with some of these new characters,
Yeah.
I understand why they're having to introduce new characters because basically the
But you
people
got to
who
give them time to.
our favorites who've been playing the characters that we actually love are not wanting to be around, or they're getting ready to leave for pregnancy issues or whatever. And so I get that.
Pregnancy issues. I mean, having the birth of a child.
Maybe.
Arrow did the same thing in.
What's more important, being on the Flash, or
no? Arrow did the same thing in season 4. Is the girl played Laurel? She wanted to leave for a little while, so she did.
Good night, Sebastian.
And, like, a few people from that show left for a little while, and then like Diggle took like a half season off. So it was like they kind of had to do that in Arrow, and then they brought everybody back.
Yeah. I don't know. I just don't think it's a good time for people to be leaving when they really need those people to really flagship this show.
Since that's going to be like the main show
Because now that Arrow's gone,
this is the main show.
This is the main show. So
because Green Arrow and the Canaries isn't going to be the main show because that's going to.
Thank you, Sebastian. You're awesome.
Aww.
Sebastian just gave another 99 cents. Thank you, man.
He's giving money to help us pay for treats for the dogs.
we got little doggy booties all over the place.
She's biting your
I know
hair
she's
now.
biting my hair. She's biting me.
She's
What's up, Harley?
what Wookie does.
She's like, is this what I do to get popcorn?
I am surrounded by puppies. Yes, Ramik, this episode so far is very good. That's what I was saying. I'm liking this episode compared to where we've been.
Since he's in Grodd's head, where's Grodd?
Yeah.
In Flash's head.
Well, Barry's still laying there on the ground, so it's like Grodd has to be somewhere.
Aww. You see what William said?
Because now we know Gorilla Kingdom's on.
Aw.
Gorilla Kingdom's
We love you too, William.
Gorilla Kingdom's not on Earth 2 anymore. It's on Earth Prime. But we don't know.
Right.
But we don't know where on Earth Prime or system.
You know what I'm looking forward to? I'm looking forward to Superman and Lois Lane.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking forward to next season.
No, it's a trailer.
Ooh, when does that come back?
I don't know. It'll stay at the end of it. One story that I'd love to see, it was a New 52 story, would be Grodd getting the Speed Force. And him getting it for like a season or half a season.
Yeah?
So I think that would be a cool story to see.
Yes! That comes back tomorrow.
Well,
Got lonely in August, so you decided to break out, come visit me.
Grodd is still in his prison, in the mental coma you and your team put him in.
So what, the cage is payback? Or you want vengeance?
Not vengeance. Understanding. Grodd wants Barry Allen to see what it's like to have nothing. No powers, no freedom. Only captivity. Keelan used a neural inhibitor to shut down Grodd's cerebrum. Keelan betrayed Grodd. And you gave her the authority. This is your doing, Flash.
I'd do it again in a heartbeat. Your mind is a weapon.
You take a weapon from a man. He's still a man. You took Grodd's mind. Grodd's greatest gift. That is not punishment. That is cruelty, pure cruelty.
Not from where I'm standing. Does that great mind of yours remember how many people you've hurt? Huh? You launched an army of guerrillas to Central City. You forced me
Ow!
to
Stop
gladiate
it!
arena yourself.
You're gonna break me if I do.
You charged telepathic crowds so you could control thousands of innocent people. Face it, Grodd, you got what you deserved.
wow.
You are right. It took Grodd a year to find the strength to think intelligently again. And in that time, Grodd had many primitive thoughts. And without the power of higher thinking, Grodd could no longer lie to himself. And was forced to confront the truth of his actions, his wrongdoings, his crimes. Your accident allowed Grodd to enter your mind.
to ask for Flash's help. The neural inhibitor put a gatekeeper in Grodd's mind. The portal that gatekeeper guards is the only way out of this prison. Help Grodd. Grodd is sorry. Grodd has changed.
This is the super intelligent gorilla who just kidnapped me. Who won't even show his face.
Grodd wants Flash to trust him. Your powers are returned. Please, Flash, help Grodd defeat the Gatekeeper.
Really?
Nice try, Grodd. It'll never change. You're exactly where you belong.
That's very unlike
That's
Barry.
one crazy cappuccino maker.
Close. Sherlock's machine was developed to put one person's mind into another person's memories.
Wait, you think Barry's in someone else's mind?
I mean, we've had experience with this before, based on Barry's pulse, his rapid eye movement, and his vitals. The 2 brainwaves are a dead giveaway.
This is so awesome! 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 I mean, no, this is just awful. We should fix that.
Yeah. When Ramsey decided to take a little vacation inside Barry's brain, Cisco and I decided to work on the memory machine just in case blood work decided to resurface.
How does this all work?
In a mindscape, the host transmits neural signals to the guest's primary motor cortex. If we can sync up with those neural transmitters, I think we can communicate with Barry.
Like sliding into his mind,
He's gonna have to figure out that he's gonna have to go back to his help Grodd. He's gonna make Grodd a villain again or something.
Come on, Barry.
Frost, you and me, outside. Let's go.
There's Moss alive.
That's a really long story.
Okay.
Make it fast, or I'm out.
God, it looks like it turns out that Allegra, through a series of unfortunate events she has discovered.
Because she's your daughter's doppelganger.
Not my daughter exactly. Monica employee, right? An exemplar. How do you know that?
Whatever. I'm guessing it didn't go well because she found out rather than you explaining it to her. So now it's time for some good old-fashioned honesty.
Oh, come on.
Whatever happened between you and your
It's
daughter,
not my daughter. Exactly. Okay, Monica employee, an ex-employee who made a bad call.
just explain it to her.
Yeah, no, but she said it was too late for that.
Well, as my life coach Ralph would say, you can't let that stop you.
Ralph is your life coach.
Oh, thanks, Gavin. When does everything start for you?
Finally, there it is.
Time to get out of here.
So, you're the gatekeeper?
Awesome. Welcome, Samuel. Yeah, when does it start in the UK, Gavin?
Yeah.
I know it's very. I saw your comment about being lucky to live in America. I know when it comes to shows like this, man, you know, it's like I can't imagine being a DC fan. My heart goes out to you guys
Yeah.
who are DC fans around the world who can't see some of this stuff until much later. You know, that'd drive me nuts.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I might have to get a visa and
Donuts and chicken?
Kentucky Fried Chicken. Yeah, donuts. Yeah.
That was the donuts around the chicken. That is the messiest thing ever.
2 glazed donuts and a piece of chicken. From the people who are trying to give you a heart attack. It's a piece of fried chicken too. I mean, it probably tastes amazing. My guess is
Put us in an anaphylactic shock.
Well, yeah. Today was Fat Tuesday here in the States. I guess all over the world because it's
Yeah.
Lent.
yeah, it's Lent. Today's Fat Tuesday, so of course everybody's bringing in punch keys, and I can't have them because of the sugar content. There's no way. I would just explode. But
You could just take it into the bathroom. Gavin says, I have no clue. Season 5 just ended about 2 months ago.
oh wow.
I was looking almost a year.
Eli Raider says, KFC, best chicken. Someone from Kentucky.
Oh yeah, one thing that
I guess it's like chicken
I
and waffles,
remembered.
but
when
So
all-
Gavin, is it like here in the States where like we have like summer hiatus? Like, do you have like a set time
Well,
usually that like
this-
shows end and new shows begin?
this summer we won't have a hiatus
We won't?
because Stargirl starts when this ends.
Oh,
We
yeah?
can stream Stargirl during the summer.
he was trying to say something.
The-
Something I forgot.
That's what I was gonna say. It's Stargirl.
Oh,
Stargirl starts in spring, is what they said.
Chicken and donuts. It's like chicken and waffles. Chicken and waffles with
You
syrup
just-
is awesome.
you just missed that. I said that like 5 minutes ago.
Oh, well, it's still awesome. Still just saying, it's awesome.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh yeah, here's the Stargirl promo.
You want me to play it? Or you
Yeah, sure.
Cosmic staff.
Got Luke Wilson.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Who are you?
I'm Stargirl.
Stargirl. New series coming spring 2020 on the CW.
Nice.
Oliver, listen. We do not have to fight. As far as I'm concerned,
I was just gonna ask that, Eli.
I am the one of this present flash. None shall escape. Not even you.
Probably shouldn't have punched Grodd out now, huh?
Everybody's reacting to whatever's happening in the mindscape. So if he dies in there, he dies out here too? Correct.
Does he have any
It's like Nightmare on Elm Street.
No, I meant
It's like Nightmare on Elm Street. You die in there, you die for real. You poop in your dreams, you poop for real.
Ross, you got that look Cisco has before he throws a bunch of science words at us that basically means we're fracked?
The signals traveling to Barry's cortex are moving at a hyperneural speed. We've only seen one other brain whose neurons can fire this fast. Barry's in Grodd's mind.
Gorilla Grodd? Dan, yo, he's like my favorite supervillain ever. He's like super strong and super smart. And Barry's super trapped in his mind. It's very, very bad.
We modified Grodd's telepathic crown to keep him in a coma at Argus. But its neural inhibiting capabilities can only sustain one mind. Before long, the mindscape will overload and crumble. If that happens and Barry's still inside,
He'll die. Well, can't we just call Argus and ask them to shut it off?
no. If we do that while Barry's still connected to Grodd's mind, he'll be trapped in there forever. I still don't understand how this happened. How did Grodd get inside Barry's mind?
Hey Rocky, we're right here, man.
When I tweaked this earlier, I adjusted its hypothalamic connection by a factor of 900%.
Okay, well, that's more than enough signal for another brain to piggyback on. And Barry was wearing that when he was limbed.
I am so sorry. I never should have came here. This is all my fault.
Hey, how's you running away gonna help us get Barry out of Grodd's mind?
Because if I'm not around, at least I can't make things worse.
Look, I hate to break it to you, but accidentally putting Barry's life in danger is kind of a rite of passage around here. We've all done it. Cisco, me, Ralph, even the janitor who put too much wax on the floor. But then, after we put his life in danger, we figure out a plan to get him out of it. So now it's your turn.
You know, in the 6th grade, I got into the science fair with a Millennium Falcon that I built out of used vacuum parts. I mean, it flew and everything like a drone. But on the day of the fair, can't fly. Rust in the intake manifold was preventing air from getting into the combustion chamber, which was then causing it to... Sorry. Anyway, I had begged my teacher to let me fix it. And then fly again the next day. He said no. You know why? He was an old school brother. And he said that in the real world, people like us, we don't get a second chance.
Hold on.
Hey!
I'm not gonna pretend like I have any idea what your life has been like. And I know that some of the stuff we do in here has nothing to do with the real world. But I'm offering you a second chance. Because you deserve one. Because we all do.
Dad, I'm so sorry. I don't know how I made that mistake. I thought I said 12:30.
Not a problem. I'll order you the usual.
Yeah, that sounds great. I will be there soon. Love you.
So who is she really?
Something has to do with the mirror.
Ready to do this?
Yes. No, I don't know.
Eva, look at me. Trust yourself. You can do this.
It's the machine I don't trust. The subatomic particles this emits will penetrate the mirror's surface, but it won't pierce the barrier between the worlds. It will fail.
Then we're no worse off than we are right now.
I made the mirror pieces move. Let's just go back to trying that.
Eva, we should be trying everything we can to get out of here, right? There's another reason why you don't want me to use this machine, isn't there?
No, I better go lay down.
Eva, what are you hiding?
Nothing.
Why don't I believe you?
Trust me. We can't use it.
Why can't we use it?
Good job.
When Flash sees Grodd, he sees an enemy from his past. Grodd wants Flash to see a face he can trust.
And how did we fight Solivar was supposed to make me trust you?
Grodd thought Flash could beat him.
We were wrong! It would kill me! But that was your plan, wasn't it?
No.
What's that? What's happening? Is that Solivar?
This world is crumbling. The neural inhibitor can no longer take the strain of two minds.
What happens to this mindscape if it fails?
Both Grodd and Flash die. Together.
You wanted revenge so badly that you were willing to die just to take me with you.
No. Grodd has changed.
Nothing could ever make you change.
Not even the crisis of infinite worlds.
Oh,
What do you know about Crisis?
Grodd's mind wasn't affected by the merging of the multiverse, but Grodd can still sense changes in his reality. Changes like Gorilla City. City is here now. The gorillas are here now. Grodd knows this. Grodd wants to return home.
Why? So you can create another army to attack Central City, just destroy everyone in your path?
That is who Grodd used to be. That Grodd wanted power. Power didn't bring happiness. It brought pain. New Grodd wants a new path. Grodd
decide our fate. Grodd Soliver beat me because I tried to fight him the exact same way I fought him 3 years ago. To get out of here, we just have to try something new. We have to run forward, not backward. By fighting together.
This is a really great episode.
Yeah.
I am so glad this episode is good. Seriously. Because, man.
This is how the episodes need to be.
Right?
This is what it's been missing.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is good writing. It's engaging. It's something that we want to see.
Yep.
I'm very happy with this.
We get normal Iris back in the next 20 minutes.
You think she's coming back this episode? Are we live?
Yeah.
Is the TV live?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's on CW.
No, I know, but I mean, try to fast forward. Make sure that we're okay. Because
Other states maybe. Okay.
well, yeah, but Samuel said he's ahead of us by 1 minute. So in San Antonio.
It was an hour behind us.
But yeah, Gavin, look into a VPN because with a VPN you should be able to get around that.
Yeah.
Because you'll have to pay probably a monthly subscription. But
wait, is he watching it on the CW or is he watching it on Netflix? Because if you use your VPN on Netflix, you can watch all of the shows
once you use a VPN, you can watch anything. So you can watch like he said, like if you have Netflix, you can watch
the VPN.
You can watch the American version of Netflix, not your own version. Just like we can watch other countries where things are banned here. That like Doctor Who. Doctor Who is something that a lot of people love here, but we don't get Doctor Who here.
Yeah.
So people have Express VPN or another VPN service, and in that way they can log in. It's not region identified.
Yeah.
So they can watch anything.
So then, when these shows are done and they all go to Netflix in the summer, then you can watch on the VPN with the U.S. servers.
Yes. If you go on with a U.S. server, you can watch all of that stuff. Yeah. And then also with the CW, because the CW app has this season, you could actually catch up. Because he said he watched season 5, so he could actually watch.
They only have the first half of the season on there. Normally they have the latest 5. But before Crisis, they had the first half of the season before Crisis. But after Crisis, now it's just like the latest 5.
Well, something.
Yeah.
Anyways, but if you do, and they have you fill out something, tell them that you heard about it. Whoever you use, if you do decide to do that, if you do, tell them that you heard about it here on the Poindexter Lounge because they sponsor channels all the time here on YouTube, and who knows. Yeah. If they know that we're promoting them, they may send a sponsorship our way, which would be cool. I saw here, Rocky Man, you said, "Yo man, we don't see your face. Place the camera in front of your TV." But I'm looking at our stream and we're all in it.
Evan says I will buy it in the morning, then I will catch up to you for next week.
Yeah, look into it. Find the best one. Make sure that you do your homework.
Watch the reviews on the VPNs.
Yeah. Look at reviews on different VPNs. Like I said, this Express VPN, I've been seeing a lot of channels that I watch promote it. So it may be good. It may work for you, but do some research. Go online. Do some research as to what the best one is, and and how it's going to work for you, and make sure it's going to do what you need it to do. Yeah. Because I've never used a VPN.
William says Express VPN is the best. I use it.
There you go. Okay. And William, actually, you just got back from the UK. You've got ties to the UK, so William might have some insight there.
Eli just said download Tweakbox app. I used to use MovieBox too.
Oh yeah?
Yep.
Yeah. For Tweakbox, you have to go through a bunch of websites, and I think you may need a VPN to download that if you're not in the U.S.
Isn't MovieBox how I watched the season of Riverdale when I had to catch up?
Yes, what you use.
We're back.
There's our way out.
Ready? We can do this, Grodd. Together.
Is ready.
Grodd looks really good.
Whoa! Nice! Good call, Isaac. You said give him some.
Oh!
Oh!
What?
He has very speed, but
They're
Grodd.
cerebral
Now, it's gonna
activity.
suck though if it turns out that Grodd was
Forget synced. Their neural pathways just merged. Their
Or
brainwaves are literally
Grodd
the
still gets
same.
part of the speed force getting pulled out, causing him because he has all that power.
His
That's
chest!
right from the comics.
nice.
Feels impossible.
Now get ready. This time we're on the same team.
Never leave.
You have my powers, Grodd, and my knowledge of how to use them. Now get us out of
His
here.
eyes.
Grodd understands.
Oh! Clothesline! Oh, that's sweet. Oh, power slam! WWE style.
The neural comlink is working.
Barry, can you hear me?
I love this episode.
He said he
We've
was
been
supposed
trying
to
to
keep
get
you
in
in
contact with you.
the
You're in Grodd's mind. Is he trying to hurt you?
No, we're on the same team. Grodd and I merged our minds, sort of like the Mindscape version of the Firestorm Matrix.
Wait, so you're half gorilla now?
I'll explain later. We're fighting a gatekeeper in Grodd's mind. We need to beat it to escape, and the only way to do that...
By working together.
There isn't much time. The world is gonna split apart.
Grodd thinks lightning can save him. Nothing can save Grodd.
Barry, we've got bigger problems than Solivar right now.
I know, Grodd's Mindscape is falling apart.
Actually, this is worse.
What could be worse than this?
According to my scans, if you exit the Mindscape with your brainwaves still merged, you will end up in one body.
Frontal flash. Gross.
Yeah. And what's worse is the resulting physiological conflict will cause every brain cell to shut down. And the resulting form would,
We both die.
you know.
Wait, so we have to somehow separate their minds at the exact moment they escape.
And I'd have to be accurate to the millisecond, which isn't possible.
Not for us. But it's very possible for a mobile interactive artificial intelligence unit. If we sync Gideon's quantum intelligence network to Barry across bioanalytics, it'll perfectly time the neural displacing. But I have to do some more augmenting to this puppy, and by augmenting is what got Barry into this mess, and I really don't want to mess up again, so...
Chester, listen to me. That tweak you made to Gideon earlier, in 2 seconds you improved her functionality more than I did in 2 hours. You're a genius. Maybe it didn't work out exactly how you planned, so here's round 2. Try again. I need you now, Chester, please. You can do this. I believe in you.
Flash moves.
They all do.
Go ahead, take your second chance. Show us your moves.
Right. It's time for the LeBron James of the junkyard to do his thing, baby. Oh, watch out, brothers and sisters. Just
Hey, what's up, Caleb?
Caleb!
Now all we have to
Dude, we got DC stuff to talk about.
There is no escape.
Solivar's winning. Come on, Barry. How's it going, Chester?
please let this work.
Grodd stinks of fear. Grodd knows Solivar brings him death.
Don't listen to him, Grodd. You have too much to live for. You hear me? Don't let the past win. Put it all behind you and show Solivar what you're made of. That's it. Get the hell out of here. Run, Grodd.
Nice!
Run, Grodd. Oh!
Whoa! Gorilla face!
Dang.
You guys are doing, do it now.
That fight
Oh!
from the comics was the Salvar instead of Barry
Okay, you will. He said big growl.
It's the Superman. It's the Kryptonian sun god.
Oh.
So, Gavin, yeah, Batwoman's pretty decent. It's pretty good. It's been better than we all thought it was going to be. So, so you know, I mean, if you like DC stuff, yeah, watch it. Caleb.
But we like it more than you do, so if there's, I mean, if you're into like the Batman verse and just everything, it's good.
Yeah. Can you show or tell us the Cat 14 promo, please?
Oh, probably next week's episode trailer.
Oh.
Because this is episode 13. So I'm guessing it means episode 14.
We can talk about it. Yeah, once it shows the promo for it. Yeah, we can talk about what it is. Absolutely.
And also
we can't show you. Last time we showed that, we actually got a copyright strike. That's what got us the copyright strike, which was stupid.
Yeah. So the YouTube channel TV promos, normally they post it like 5 to 10 minutes after the episode is done airing.
If you do watch all the other shows, I would watch Batwoman because it goes together, and then when you hit Crisis and everything, it makes sense. I think if you like the other shows, you'll like that. Mm-hmm. So I suggest yes.
It definitely shows a different side of Gotham.
Yes.
Yes. For sure. But Caleb, if you're still on, man, we got to talk about all this stuff going on with DC Comics, and just.
Lost Knowledge says, "What do you guys think about Bob Iger leaving Disney?"
So Bob Iger leaving Disney, I think, is one of those things that has been in the making. You know, I think that's I think been something that we could see coming. You know, he feels like he's fulfilled his what he's needed to do. I think it's interesting. Dido leaving, getting fired from DC Comics by AT&T. And
Neither can I, Gavin.
This thought about AT&T maybe wanting to sell it.
Or is this more of like a Captain Cold, former villain turned sort of good guy situation?
We'll see, I guess. Lila had Argus embed a tracking polymer in his cerebellum, and she agreed to let him out on probation as long as we know where he is at all times. So, if he does break bad again, I'll find him.
Which reminds me, I'm gonna check in with Lila and make sure I understand Argus's protocols. I want to make sure they give Grodd a real chance.
Kenneth, you're kidding. That's great. When? Sister's coming home.
He's drinking it from a piece of licorice.
I wanted to say, I'm sorry I wasn't more welcoming. I was dealing with this family thing. I felt like everything in my life was changing. And I took that out on you. I'm sorry.
It's all good. Flash. By the way, Camilla told me about your parents. And I kinda hacked every cemetery database within a 700-mile radius.
I'm so sorry. Why didn't you tell me that the machine could hurt you?
I
I wanted to prove I wasn't lying. Words are worthless. Evidence is irrefutable. My colleagues ridiculed my reflective theory. Even though my research was bleeding edge, no scientific journal will publish it because I hadn't shown it to be true. I couldn't have you doubt me like that. I just needed you to believe me.
Yeah, of course I believe you. I saw you move those mirror pieces. You're capable of great things. Look, when you're feeling better, we'll find another way.
Yeah. I think I have some more bandages in the storage room. Where'd you get them?
Yeah, of course.
Is she gonna leave her there?
What did you do to us? I want us time. There's no need for you to suffer.
I just think she's a mirror master.
Easy peasy.
He is coming.
A new
Say,
episode of
what?
DC's Legend of
He is
Tomorrow
coming.
coming up next.
Yeah. And red eyes and
I didn't just come back to see family. I've been sensing that there's something wrong with the Speed Force.
I didn't know anyone else was affected. The Speed Force is beyond repair.
What did you do?
Get rid of this man bun.
Only on the CW.
okay.
But it says March 10th, so there's not gonna be one next week.
Dang it!
March 10th.
Legends of Tomorrow.
There's not gonna be one next week, but there'll be one the
Twitch
following week.
Ferrex says they're from Argentina.
What's up, Twitch? Welcome from Argentina.
He
So
said,
glad
what
to have you.
happened? Please tell us.
Okay. So the episode ended with Sherlock Wells appearing to what's his name, Wells? What's his name?
What?
Sherlock
Flash?
appeared to
Nash.
Nash. I always forget his name.
Yeah.
Appeared to Nash, and then grabbed him and started vibrating like Reverse Flash, and his eyes went red just like Reverse Flash, and said,
He is coming.
"He is coming."
Yeah.
And Nash looked a ton of scared.
Yeah.
Looked like he crapped. He looked like he gnashed his
He's
pants.
Unless,
You sounded like you were gonna try and sound like from the West Coast.
unless he turns into the new.
Yeah.
Unless he turns
So
into Eobard, like from Nash.
so that was that, and then in the preview for next week, it shows Kid
And then
Flash
next week, next
comes
episode.
back, or the next episode. Sorry, it's not going to be back next week apparently, but the next.
Twitch says Sherlock is Reverse Flash.
I don't think he's Reverse Flash, but I think there's something to do with the Wells, that because Nash keeps seeing multiple Wells versions of Wells.
The past 2 weeks it was Harry from Earth 2.
Mm-hmm.
This week it was
Sherlock.
So it
Plethora of
doesn't mean
Wells.
he's gonna see all of them before he comes back, but the last one he's gonna see is Eobard,
Yeah.
and then
He
that's
said
when
he's-
Eobard comes back
he
and
said
like he
he's
merges
coming.
with Nash, and that's how Eobard.
And how is he coming if everybody else, if everything else merged? So where are the
We don't
Wells
know.
coming from?
Because in the preview, Wally said you messed up the Speed Force in some way,
Yeah. So
Unless-
Wally's coming
Beyond
back.
repair.
unless post-crisis negative Speed Force is a bigger thing now, and that's how.
For him to come back.
Okay, so Caleb
Because of how he left Legends.
Caleb is bringing up very important stuff that we need to talk about tonight, because there's lots of nerd news. So stay with us.
As we're finishing up talking about the episodes.
Right, as we finish talking about these episodes. But let's go ahead and rearrange and sit here on the couch.
Eli says maybe there's some type of weird dimension where all the Wells are together.
Yeah, because that's the thing, we don't know anything about Wells post-crisis.
Eli said one of the Wells could have done something and put them all together.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
That's very possible.
Because Harry was getting his knowledge back before Crisis. That's one thing that Cisco was saying before he left.
Yeah.
He said Harry was getting his knowledge back.
Oh.
Look at me for a second. Huh.
Caleb says the Wells Force. So this was a good episode. Just come get a little closer. Don't be shy. All right. So.
Put the dogs real quick and then I'm gonna come right back.
You're gonna what now?
Logan's gonna put the dogs.
Oh.
Okay. So
and then I'll be back.
Isaac will be right back. But we're gonna go ahead and talk about this a little bit.
They have to go potty and take a dose of doggies.
Yeah, they gotta let the dogs out now. We got 2 dogs. We'll bring the camera a little closer here.
Did you just say let the dogs out?
Yeah, who let the dogs out? They let the dogs out. Okay. So, this episode, man, really good episode. And I'm really glad that this episode was good. Because like I said, the last 3 episodes have been, you know, I mean, like we haven't been here for the last 3 episodes with you guys because we had a class that we were both taking at the same time. And so we couldn't be here the last 3 weeks. So we've missed you guys, first of all. Totally missed you guys. But welcome. If you're just joining us, we're getting ready. We're going to start our Talk Nerdy to Me segment.
I'm bummed because if we end up taking the next class, it starts in the middle of March, which means if the next episode's not coming back till the 10th.
Yeah, it's the middle of March. Yeah, I know. But here's the thing. So we're going to talk about all this stuff. We're going to talk about The Flash, obviously. We're going to talk about this episode, what the next episode looks like, and then we're going to cover a bunch of nerdy topics. So please stay tuned.
That's a good idea from Eli.
What's that?
So I'll put money Jesse is alive. I feel like Earth 2 Wells saved all the Wells and he brought Jesse with him. He wouldn't ever let her die.
Oh.
Which is another Flash.
Yeah, I would think that Jesse's alive too. We haven't seen Jesse in a long time, but I would be right there with you.
Well, after she stopped dating Kid Flash, who's coming back.
Yep, I would be right there with you to say that I would agree that she is still alive for sure. Because she's Jesse Quick. I don't think we never saw a body. We never saw like permanent death. And we all know DC, how DC is. Even they can wipe out entire universes and it's still going to come back somehow. You know, look at the end of Crisis on Infinite Earths. All these different universes spring up at the end of Crisis on Infinite Earths, and you know, sorry for spoilers for anybody who hasn't seen Crisis on Infinite Earths, but you know, so we got that. So Gavin, you're funny. Yeah, Sherlock isn't Reverse Flash. He just he did vibrate and look like Reverse Flash, but he said he's coming. So I think that that's a precursor to the real Reverse Flash that somehow is doing something through this plethora of wells. In various wells. Right? Yeah, right? What?
It's just, you're like going on about Wellses.
Wellses. Well, because the Wellses are, you know, they're pretty cool. They're pretty cool. So, Tip, what did you think of this episode?
I thought it was phenomenal. I always liked the episodes with Grodd, and I thought it was very well done with him, you know, starting off in the cage and, you know, not realizing that he was Grodd, you know, and the fact that he had to work together and Isaac, man, flipping out those couple times that it's like they took it right from the comics where they molded, you know, melded, and then, you know, he had the flash symbol. Yep. And then when he jumped down from the tree, you know, that was straight from the comics. So it's kind of cool to see, you know, little versions and little pieces and tids and bits from the comics that they can bring into a real show like this.
Yeah. I like Grodd too. You know, they've done Grodd really, really well. And
Eli said my prediction is Jesse and Kid Flash will have their own show down the line. It'll be around the time Flash ends, 2 to 3 years.
We could all hope. I mean, I don't think that the only reason why I don't think that the only way that I think something like that happens is if they bring in the ginger Wally West, because the guy who plays Kid Flash, I can't think of his name right now, he doesn't have a desire to be tied down to a show. That's why he's left.
And then he was on Legends, then he left Legends, and now he's back here. But it's only for like little bits of time.
He's willing to do. He's basically said that he's willing to do guest shots here and there because he understands that he plays this character. But as far as like being a full-time character, he's just not there. He just doesn't really want to do that. So he's off trying to do other things,
And try it out for the role.
I know, but I think that we eventually might get the ginger, white version of Wally West, which they could build up if they find the right actor who actually wants to do the part.
I know who would be great, but he's already on another show.
Who's that? The kid who plays Archie?
On Riverdale.
Yeah, but that's not a natural redhead anyways, is it?
He is. That's not his normal accent because he's Australian.
Yeah, but is that real red hair?
Well, his hair is darker, but they make it more red for the show. But it's still the same look. He's beefed up in the show. He's got the red hair. He looks like, that version of the comics.
Yeah.
True.
I agree, Eli. That's a really good point. They missed an opportunity, but we're still young in this, and they're still finding new things, right? We're still finding new things out about this new world and about these new characters. So that could always happen.
Caleb said, fun fact, the episode title Grodd Friended Me is a nod to the show God Friended Me, where the actress who plays Jessie went to full-time after she left The Flash.
Yeah, that's a nice.
That is a nice wink.
It's a nice wink, for sure. Wink and a nod.
Gavin says, has there been anything about Nora this season?
No.
When you catch up to where you're supposed to be, it'll be explained.
Yeah, but we really haven't gotten. I mean, I think we all thought we were going to get some more information on that, but we haven't so far. So, what do you think about this whole mirror thing?
I think it's actually interesting because a lot of the big bads, I mean, I don't want to say they don't deal with Iris because, you had Savitar who was trying to kill her to try to get to Barry and stuff like that. But I mean, in the aspect of...
Dogs.
In the aspect of she, is actually in part of it. She thinks she's helping this woman, and in part she's really playing her because she's the bad guy.
Kind of thing. Mirror Mistress.
Yeah.
Mirror, or she's still gonna call herself Mirror Mister, maybe.
You want to just sit there?
Mirror Mrs.?
Oh yeah, there's plenty of room.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of room.
Mirror Mrs.?
Mistress.
Mrs. Mirror? Mrs. Mirror? Miss Mirror? Mirror Miss?
Sounds like you just drunk. Miss Mirror.
Miss Mirror? Lady in the mirror?
The thing also it kind of reminded me of, even though he's not a gorilla, is we still haven't seen Gleek post-crisis.
Right? We still haven't seen Gleek. Where's Gleek, man? I want Gleek.
Yeah.
We heard him.
I'm stuck
But
with
since then
the woman in
we haven't
the mirror.
seen him or heard him. Unless, I don't think he's been on Legends.
Who?
Gleek.
No, he's at the Hall of Justice, and they haven't gone back to the Hall of Justice yet.
Yeah.
Catch up on Riverdale and Legends.
Legends first, since we got less.
Well, you gotta catch up on
So Isaac,
Riverdale.
we were just talking about Wally West, right?
Oh,
and somebody was saying that they.
I think
Archie
this is his
would
last
be an
episode.
awesome Ginger Wally West.
Well, hold on. So somebody mentioned Jesse. Who was it who mentioned Jesse?
Which part?
Oh,
Eli.
Eli said his prediction: Jesse and Kid Flash will have their own show down the line. It'll be around the time Flash ends, 2 to 3 years. And I said, that's a great wish.
Cool.
It'd be a cool show,
Yeah.
because they were also talking about that they don't think Jesse's dead. They think that it's something to do with
He
wells.
said, so I'll put my money, Jesse is alive. I feel like Earth 2 Wells saved all the wells, and he brought Jesse with him. He would never let Jesse die.
That's one thing that I was talking about last week when we saw the Stargirl promo.
Yeah.
As I was talking about that after it showed the promo, I was like, wait, if that's supposed to take place on Earth 2, that means we'll see more of the new Earth 2.
Yeah.
So we could maybe see down the line like Harry and Jesse if they're still there.
Yeah.
Or if not, maybe they're on some other Earth post.
And I said, I believe that Jesse is alive.
Yeah.
Because she's too good of a character, I think, for them. And we've never seen a body. We've never seen her dead. So.
Yeah.
Eli said also, so possibly next episode, is it safe to say that we will see 3 versions of Wells and an explanation that Jesse is alive and Earth 2 Wells saved them all? I'm all down for that.
I don't know if we'll get it that soon.
And Caleb said, fun fact, that the episode called Grodd Friended Me is a nod to the show God Friended Me, where the actress who plays Jessie went full-time after showing up Flash. And he said, God Friended Me is also a great show. It's about a man named Miles who gets a friend request from God on Facebook, and his life gets turned upside down as God sends him names of people to help.
Yeah.
That actually sounds pretty cool. I may have to check
So,
that out.
This is the synopsis for episode 14. Said Kid Flash returns to Central City with his Zen attitude and new tricks up his sleeve. While he confides to Barry that he returned because he thinks that there's something wrong with the Speed Force, Cisco returns from his fact-finding mission.
And it's called The Death of the Speed Force?
Death of the Speed Force, yeah. So my answer to that is that I said is I could see them eventually bringing in the Ginger Wally West.
Yeah.
Which I said the guy who plays
building him up as a character, and then
I thought they were gonna do that during Crisis, like with my original theory.
well, that was also mentioned here by Eli. It says CW missed an opportunity to recast him with the
Yes, we
the
do,
universe
Gavin.
change.
Me and Isaac watch it.
But I said, we're still discovering new things about post-crisis.
Yeah, because there's
So-
3.7 trillion, according to Gideon.
Yeah, so
from Earth 1 and Earth Prime.
So honestly, anything could be changed by this point, and so we just maybe just haven't seen it yet.
Yep.
And it would be a nice thing to pop up. It'd be a nice thing to pop up. Because I was saying that the actor who plays Kid Flash now, he doesn't want to do it.
Yeah,
he doesn't want to
Kid
play.
Flash anymore.
Yeah, he's been willing to come back for cameos and stuff like that.
Because I thought they said that this is like his last episode on the Flash. This one that he shows up in. Because everybody's making a huge deal about he's back for one more episode.
Yeah.
Eli just said, who's the speedster in the Speed Force now?
Speedster in the Speed Force?
Yeah, that's what it says. I think I need my glasses because everything's looking blurry.
Yeah. I don't think there is one in the Speed Force because they destroyed the Speed Force prison when they defeated Savitar.
Yeah.
Because Jay Garrick was the last one to be in there.
Yep. And Jay Garrick's alive and well. Or
Well,
wait,
not-
No,
he's
he
dead
sacrificed himself on the.
now. You're right. You're right. No,
That wasn't Jay. That was Earth 90.
That was Earth 90
Barry.
or Barry.
But it looked like his dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
All right, looks like we're back.
Force now.
Looks like we're back.
I gotta say, unless I'm just not remembering something, I don't think anybody's in the Speed Force.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's not connecting. I don't know. Is Isaac or is Logan? There we go. Okay, we're back on. I don't know what's going on.
Logan's not doing anything.
No, I mean, is he playing video games or something?
No, that would have nothing to do with it.
Well, I'm just saying.
He was on his phone when he was waiting for us.
All right. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know why it's kicking us off.
Gavin
here.
says, who is the speedster Jay was training up?
That's true, also.
And do you think? Do you guys think Flash will surpass Arrow's
That's
season?
one thing I forgot. Is before Crisis, Jay. Well, the last time that he taught Barry something, he said he was teaching a new speedster.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Sorry about that,
That's
guys.
true. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, I do think that the Flash will go longer than Arrow.
Yeah.
I think that the Flash will go at least 10 seasons.
It was the thing with Arrow. It was like Steve Amell, he loved playing the character, but it was just he said he wanted time with his family. Is what he said. It was one reason why he wanted to quit. And then also a few of the other actors on the show pretty much said that they were done.
Yeah.
So that's why the people that still want to be involved in the Arrowverse are still in, like Diggle and Laurel and all of them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely think, especially since now Flash is going to be the main show that people look to. I think
it's going to be around for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, one thing I really liked about this episode, I don't know if you said it because I told you, but I kind of like the theme of this episode. Is it's like you had, it was kind of like what, who I think Mirror Master is at the end is, what she said is like you have to have proof, like for people to believe you, and that was kind of the theme of this episode. Is Barry didn't believe Grodd until Grodd showed him, hey, I'm not who I was before Crisis.
Very observant.
Yeah, and then also in this.
And you have to give let go of your past.
Yeah, and one thing that she said is no one believed her because she had no proof. So it's like I kind of like that theme of this episode.
Nice.
Eli says, do you think we'll ever see Amel again, or do you think he's gone?
Unless they can somehow tie something into the Spectre, I don't think we'll see him for a while.
Yeah, at least for a while, for a good while.
If he does, it would be cameos down the line, I would think.
I think it'd either be cameos or when they finish off the Arrowverse. I think
like a memory.
Yeah, he'll be like, I
he narrates the last episode or whatever the last.
Like Jughead does on Riverdale.
Yeah.
I definitely I believe that we'll see Steve Amell again.
Yeah.
I
love the ending that he got, but we're not going to
Yeah.
get him in the next 5 years. I don't think.
I wouldn't say even in the next 5 years. I would just say it's going to be a while.
A while?
Yeah.
It's going to be a while. Like, I don't know how long it's going to be. I wouldn't put a number on it because 5 years is a long time, and Flash is already in season 6. So if Flash goes 10 seasons,
it would be more of like a cameo. Like I think
it would be a
that's how long
cameo. It would be a cameo.
I
It's
think
not
he'd
gonna
also
be-
definitely be in Flash's last episode. Or
Yeah, he will be.
Yeah.
Because he was at the beginning of the Flash. He'll be at the end of it.
Yeah. So Tiff, what would you give this episode? 1 to 10.
I would give it a 9.5 out of 10.
9.5. Nice. Very nice. Isaac?
I'll say like an 8 or an 8.5. Because it's like it's definitely it's getting better week by week.
Yes.
But it's like it still felt like something was missing. It kind of felt like they were.
That's my 0.5.
Yeah. They were kind of. You could definitely tell that they were trying to write a story with what they had.
Yeah.
That they were like writing with working with what they had.
Yes.
So it's like I get that.
And they're having a hard time trying to hide her baby bump.
Yeah, but it still felt like something was like missing from the story for this episode.
No, I agree. I give this. I'm gonna give it an 8.5 too because it was so much better than the last 3 episodes. I mean, it was really good. It actually got me excited. It was a pretty good episode. I might even give it like almost a 9 because to be honest with you, this was a really good episode.
I loved the run, Grodd.
Mm-hmm.
That was awesome.
Yeah. And also, as we know, Pied Piper's still out there
Mm-hmm.
because we saw that he's doing something again at the end. We're supposed to get Godspeed again before the end of the season, and it also looks like we get
Mirror Master.
Also Mirror Master, and also Earbard's coming.
Yep. And they're still talking about Red Death.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't know what's going to happen these last few episodes.
Gavin says you guys are talking out of sync. And then Eli says, if you can get the Ezra Flash, we can see Amel in a cameo one day. LOL.
Yeah.
They exceeded my expectations.
Yeah.
Let me try something real quick to see if it'll refresh here.
Refresh? It refreshes.
I'd say where it's like a very quick story with Reverse Flash.
Tell me if that works.
I can see Earbard being the villain next season.
Okay.
Unless they can.
Oh, sit on you.
I can see Reverse Flash being the villain next season unless they use
Trey
him.
says you guys are perfectly synced.
Unless they use him to finish off the season.
What's up, Trey?
Or unless they're going to use Godspeed to finish off the season, or if he's going to be another one-episode villain, which I don't like
Is
that
he
they're
gonna
doing
look like
that.
Sin Cara again?
Which I don't like that they're doing that with Godspeed. They're only using them for one episode here and there.
It feels like they're setting up Godspeed for something major down the line. By
Eli
just giving
says
us
I
the
forgot
tease.
about Godspeed.
Yeah.
By just giving us the tease of Godspeed. Because Godspeed is such a character that, like... Yeah.
But it's also one of those stories where it's like it's so new that if you were to start it in the show, people would be like, oh, August Heart's Godspeed.
Yeah.
Like if you set up that friendship between August Heart and Barry, like the comics, they'd
Yeah.
be like, oh, he's going to be
Yeah,
Godspeed.
they would pretty much know that. Right.
So it's kind of like one of those things where they're going to have to do Godspeed in a different way. They're not going to have to do it exactly the comic book way for Godspeed.
Yeah. So...
Eli says Godspeed could be a whole second season villain.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, this is a great episode.
Unless they do him and
things.
Red Death team up next season.
That'd be a good team up.
Yeah. And that's when we'd need the Ginger Wally.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's so much red.
So much red.
So it'd be 2 speedsters and 2 speedsters.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh, I like that idea. That's 4 times the speed.
Or unless we get,
in life.
or unless we get Bart at the end of the season, like he comes back here,
Oh.
because they've teased Bart a ton of times on the show.
Speedster War.
Yeah,
Like
that'd
an
be a cool
all-out
season.
Speedster War. Like
Red
Death.
Rover.
I was hoping to see that in season 3.
Red Rover. Come on over.
I was kind of when we got that in season 3, like with Savitar and stuff. I was like, oh, it'd be cool to see like all these villains, like that speedsters fight like the good guys that we had at that
Well,
time.
and I heard that Black Flash is coming back too.
yeah, because Black Flash is still out there. We have Barry, Wally. If Jesse's still out there, we have Jesse. Same thing
What's
with
up,
Jay.
Eduardo?
If Jay's still out there, we got Jay. So that's 5 good speedsters.
Yeah.
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 And the villains, we'd have Red Death, Black Flash, Godspeed, Eobard. I think I'm forgetting one.
Brings Avatar back to life.
Yeah.
Eduardo says, I
Or
hope we
give Grodd
see
the Speed Force.
Reverse Flash fight Kid Flash. And Eli said next season Crisis will be epic. Stargirl with all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Caleb said, I'm back. Sorry, my iPhone died. Had to switch to my other phone.
No problem. You're back just in time, Caleb, because we're going to start talking Star Wars here in a second.
The only thing that's going to be interesting to see about Stargirl is I wonder if they're going to do the same thing they did with Supergirl with crossovers. Because if Stargirl's in a crossover, she's on Earth too.
Ah, yeah. So should that come over?
Yeah, and Supergirl had that problem when they brought it from, was it?
They're gonna have to give her one of those little things
from
for
CBS.
Yeah, from CBS to CW, they said, "Oh, she's on a different Earth."
Yeah.
But the thing is this is starting on the CW, so it's like,
yeah,
it's gonna be interesting. Unless they're gonna pull Black Lightning and see how it does first, and then bring it in.
All right. So that's Flash.
Yeah.
Moving on, we are talking now. We're going to talk now for a little while about the shakeup of things at DC. And Caleb, dude, you're my resident DC guy. We haven't had a really good DC talk in a while.
Yeah.
We're also going to talk about Star Wars here later, but let's talk DC and some of the things that are going on. So Dido, over at DC, who runs DC Comics, has been fired. They fired him. He did not quit, apparently. They fired him. AT&T has merged with Time Warner. Okay? And Time Warner obviously is Warner Brothers, right? So there are some major implications that people are talking about, not just because they're like speculating. People are saying that they've actually had insider talks with people that feel like certain things could happen, and we're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're speculating based on what we've heard, and we're reporting, and we would love you guys' thoughts on this.
What we've heard makes sense. So
Yeah, and it's kind of scary, but so apparently, DC has had a problem with their publishing side of getting people to buy comics. They keep doing these runs of stories. They obviously they've done Crisis. So we over the years we've had different Crisis plot lines, right? We had Crisis on Infinite Earths way back in the 80s, but then we had Infinite Crisis, which was actually a really good story.
And then New 52 for a while.
But then they've changed it to the New 52, and a lot of people hated New 52, and so they try to change that again with Rebirth.
There are some good stories with that, but it looks like the bad stories could overlook the good stories.
Then there was Rebirth, right? And they just finished up this Doomsday Clock thing with Dr. Manhattan. But here's the thing, guys, and this is where it starts to get a little weird, okay? And I get concerned as a DC fan because we take a lot of flack for being big DC fans right here from a lot of Marvel fans, and we love Marvel too. So it doesn't have to be a competition.
I'm right in the middle, but I'm just on the DC side.
So, but here's the thing. Here's some crazy stuff that's going on. So, in the publishing of that, so the publishing has been down, right? And so they got this new thing called 5G coming up, or Generation 5, I think is what they retitled it, because they don't want to confuse it with 5G cell phone signals. But so they got this thing called 5G, which is supposed to like redo like a bunch of the characters and make them totally different. Like Batman would no longer be Bruce Wayne. Batman would now be Lucius Fox, I heard. Right? And then like just different characters are just going to change and do different things. And it's supposed to shake up the entire DC universe, publishing wise, from the comic book side. Apparently, there's word that AT&T has said that if 5G doesn't do well, they're done.
I would say, does it sound like it would be if you're not going to have Bruce Wayne?
Well, that's what I'm saying. This is what's scaring me, because apparently they've said that if this does not turn things around, right, and change things, they're not going to publish any more DC Comics. Now, we haven't got like actual confirmation of that. There hasn't been a statement, so I want to make sure that we put that out there. But this is what has been reported by legitimate sources and people who've said, look, we've had conversations within the industry, and this is what's being told us, but we cannot give away our sources, right? So we're just reporting what we've heard, right? I want to make that clear. So the problem is that if they stop publishing DC Comics, that's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge. It means no new DC stories. They could still totally rely on every story that's come back. I mean, they can make movies, television,
they've had hundreds and thousands.
Yeah, I mean they've got all these years of publishing, right? That they could do stories on or whatever, and make up their own stories for movies and television or whatever.
Well, that only lasts to a certain amount of time.
Well, I mean, it could last for quite a while because you got like almost 100 years of that kind of stuff. But the thing is that there's also talk that obviously they're going to want to make money.
Yeah.
And somebody's going to want to do something with that. They could actually basically rent out or lease out those characters to be published by other companies.
Mm-hmm.
So, how does this get weird now? Well, it gets weird because in Doomsday Clock, well, Caleb just stated what we just said, that if 5G doesn't do well, that they're talking about closing down publishing. So in the Doomsday Clock storyline, when it's all said and done, it gives a timeline of different crisis, because in DC we know it's all called crisis, right? When something happens, it's a crisis. So it's basically Dr. Manhattan narrating what the future is going to be of the DC universe. Yeah. And he says, in this year, this crisis happens, and this happens, and our heroes fight this. In this year, this happens. When he gets to 2030, why 2030? I don't know. But it says in 2030, Superman will fight a battle across like dimensions or across the or universes or whatever against Thor. It says Thor. Now, Thor is in the public domain. So, but Thor is not a character in DC.
Yeah.
Right? So
he's most popular known from Marvel.
So they can get away with saying the name Thor because it doesn't have to mean Thor from Marvel. Yeah. But wink wink, it could mean plus
popular right now.
Yeah, plus, not only does it say Thor, but it says also that he fights a green behemoth more powerful than Doomsday, who ends up sacrificing himself to save Superman. Now that's one thing, right?
That could be a new.
That could just be teasing a crossover. There's been DC and Marvel crossovers before. That could be just teasing something, and it's called Secret Crisis, by the way.
Yeah.
We know that.
Like as soon as you say secret something with the comics.
So we know in Marvel everything is secret. There's Secret Wars, right? Whatever, right? So it's Secret Crisis in 2030. Well, that's 10 years from now.
Yeah.
Okay, I doubt they're setting up a comic angle 10 years from now. So what does that mean? I don't know. It would be very hard pressed to think that they were setting up a comic angle 10 years in advance. Like they're going to take 10 years to write it or something or get to it. I doubt that. But here's the thing, and I haven't read the comic, but I saw the panels because in Thor, I think it's Thor number 3 maybe.
Yeah.
There's a
story.
Yeah, there's something being narrated, and it talks about this other universe where there's a sun god, and it shows a blue and red streak flying by what is absolutely the Daily Planet.
You mean the red, blue, blur?
Yeah, and it's the red, blue blur flying past the Daily Planet. Then it talks about there's a sun god. What is Superman powered by? The sun. Then it talks about a god of speed, and it shows jagged lightning running basically on the ground. You got this blue and red thing flying up here, and you got this red and yellow jagged lightning thing running down here on the ground. We just watched The Flash tonight. We all are very aware of what The Flash looks like. Then it says a god of emerald light, which it shows a green streak.
Which, as we know, is the Green Lantern.
That's Green Lantern. And then it says a god of the night. Hello, if that's not
the Dark Knight.
If that's not Superman, The Flash, Green Lantern, and Batman.
Justice League.
And by the way, yeah, I'm glad you brought up Justice League, because it also says that these gods like defend their universe in a league of other gods, right? So what does this mean? Is this just a crossover? Well, here's the question. There's actually talk that if they end up shutting down the publishing rights, would they sell DC Entertainment to the other big entity of comic publishing.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking Disney, basically. I don't know what to think of that. Like, that's something that I would never thought would ever be said. What happens if that happens? What does that mean? I mean, would the government even let that happen? Because you're talking about a comic book monopoly now. Because you just basically you own both of the big ones. And I don't see that. I really hope that they wouldn't try to merge the two.
Yeah.
And try to somehow jam all the DC characters into Marvel, because I don't want to see that. So, like, running it as two separate companies. But can you imagine a DC universe run by Disney? The possibility is actually out there.
Yeah.
What are you guys saying about it? We want to hear your comments.
Caleb says, and Black Label is getting a bump in its budget, an increase in artists and writers, and will relaunch alongside 5G as an alternative to the rebooted 5G storyline.
Yeah. So, I just my mind is blown right now on this possible idea.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, Tiffany. What do you think of that?
I was letting you guys talk because that's more like wah 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 the way you guys are talking about it. So
I was gonna say, it's like, it kind of seems like not this soon, but it seems like way down the line that something like this would eventually happen, because Disney's slowly becoming a monopoly.
Yeah.
So, like slowly,
I do agree with that.
like literally piece by piece. Like when they first bought Lucasfilm, I was like, okay, that's cool. Now they own Star Wars and Indiana Jones and anything.
Well, they bought
Lucasfilm.
Marvel.
Yeah, and then they also bought Marvel before that, so I was like, okay, now they own Marvel, Lucasfilm, and then they bought Fox. So it's like, okay, now the only other like big one.
And Pixar.
Yeah, well, Pixar was.
Yeah,
big,
but I mean,
yeah,
but yeah.
but it's like pretty much the only other big one that they don't own is Universal and Sony. Those are only two big studios.
And Warner Brothers.
Yeah, and Warner Brothers, but it's like way down the line that would happen, but not like this soon.
Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. What we got?
Gavin said, if I watch your Crisis videos, will I get badly spoiled, guys, or not? And then Trey says,
oh, yeah, you're going to get totally spoiled because we're watching the episode and we're talking about it as it happens. Sorry.
the way you explain, Trey says, the way you explain things just gives me the chills. I don't even know what to think. And Caleb says, can we talk about 5G specifically? I'm a little worried about all the replacing characters going on. Luke Fox is becoming Batman.
Yep.
Captain Cold is becoming the Flash. John Kent is Superman, etc.
So I'll be honest with you, Caleb. I don't even know all the changes.
So if 5G fails, would they sell the comics to like different places, or would they sell DC to different places?
Well, see, that's the question, right? Would they just sell the publishing rights? Would they?
Comics.
But see, here's what I saw is that if somebody like Disney wanted to take over publishing of the comics, they're not just going to want publishing.
No.
They're not. They're going to want one. They're going to want exclusive. So they're not going to be, because they could take it and they could say, well, Disney can publish Superman.
Yeah.
Right. Well, they're not going to want just Superman, right? Because then you're going to say, you know, this other company can take and publish Batman. This other company can, you know, and it'd be all like all
as
over
they
the place.
learned from X-Men and Fantastic Four and Spider-Man that
Yeah.
isn't a good
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. Well, it wouldn't be quite that because they'd be leasing it out instead of actually selling those movie properties, right? So, like,
And more payments in these.
that's what Marvel made the mistake.
conglomerates
That's what
are
Marvel
right.
made the mistake of doing in the '90s was actually selling the movie rights to all those, and then once you sold them, because they needed money, so they sold all the movie rights, and then they couldn't get it back, right? Without, you know.
Also, they'd be leasing and not selling.
Yeah, so they'd be leasing it and not selling it.
Okay.
But the thing is they could definitely lease out the properties, and then keep the movie rights for themselves, and just make superhero movies, whatever. But I don't know that would be a. I mean, how much do you think that Disney would be willing to pay for those characters?
Yeah, because you know they would.
You know what I mean? Like
if they could own Star Wars, DC, and Marvel, all at like in their prime.
Caleb says I actually wouldn't mind if DC got sold to smaller comic companies like Valiant or IDW.
Yeah, I mean, they could maybe do something with it. I think the problem is they've gotten so far away, because you're talking about 5G. And like I said, I don't know everything about 5G, but I know that it's shaken up. Like you said, John Kent is Superman, Captain Cold is the
Kent,
Flash.
Like his son or like his dad?
John Kent, his son.
His son, okay.
Yeah, Jonathan Kent becomes Superman. Captain Cold becomes the Flash. Luke Fox becomes Batman. It's just, it's like change just for change.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's just trying to be cool and do something different, you know, and shake things up, which you know that eventually it's going to fail or crash, even if it's interesting at first.
As soon as you say, "Oh, Captain Cold's the Flash," or "Oh, Lucius Fox is Batman," it's like you're kind of setting it up to fail now.
Yeah, well, because you know it can't stay that way forever. It's eventually going to have to go back.
Everyone loves Clark Kent and Bruce Wayne.
Well, but they just got rid of Clark Kent.
Yeah, that's true.
Like with Bendis writing Superman, he just got rid of Clark Kent. Clark Kent came out as Superman to the entire world, which I don't agree with.
Yeah.
But
so
you know,
kind of left like Superman's human side was Clark Kent.
That's exactly, and now he's Superman 24/7 and actually writes for the Daily Planet as Superman.
That's kind of like a end of season 5 of Arrow, when Oliver pretty much said, "I'm Green Arrow."
Yep.
And now everybody knows, and he can't be like, "Oh, I'm Green Arrow." And
well, Perry White basically effectively fired Clark Kent right when they were in there. They're in there talking, and he fires Clark Kent as Clark Kent, and then offers him a job as Superman. So you know, I don't know. It's just weird. But the 5G thing, like, I just can't see a world where that's actually going to succeed in the long run. You know,
because it would be cool. Like, oh, it's a new story. It'll be exciting to see.
Yeah.
But that's what you only get, like, that hype for so long before it goes down.
And I'll be honest with you, it doesn't even sound like that much of hype. So, what is that, right?
Because this is my first time hearing about 5G.
Yeah, right? And so a lot of people don't know about this, and a lot of people don't read the comics. Batman right now is down. I think it's down to like something like only publishing like 70,000 copies or something like that a month. I mean, you're talking about comic books that used to publish in the millions.
Yeah.
Okay? And now Batman is like publishing like 70,000. It's down from just 100,000 of what it was doing, you know? That is crazy right there, you know? So something really has to change to change that. But like I said, it's just major news. It's major news in comics because God only knows what's going to happen next, and if DC Comics will be around as we know it. To be honest with you, so.
Caleb said something else too.
Oh, what Caleb say?
He said, but if DC got sold to Disney, whether or not it got merged with Marvel, if it included the movie rights, we would never see a rated R DC movie ever again.
That's a concern.
Because they said they're still going to do Deadpool. Then
they
didn't
could
kill Deadpool off. Like, not like kill the character, but like they didn't like say, "Oh yeah, we're not making any more Deadpool movies." They're still going to be doing.
And they've said that it's going to be an R-rated Deadpool movie. So, time will tell.
Yeah.
Time will tell what Disney is willing to do and not willing to do. The problem is right now all the people who want to hate on DC movies, they don't like it because they're darker. They're seriouser.
But that's how the comics are.
Right.
The comics are more real rather than
more fantasy.
Yeah.
More than it's not fantasy.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the Marvel stuff is. So it's more rooted in this grounded kind of thing, right? And so I mean, my goodness, I just bought a Batman Who Laughs action figure. Like, I don't think you'd ever see a character looking like that in Marvel. It's still more cartoony than that. I mean, that looks like some sadomasochistic, like, guys wearing spikes and, like, got, like, sickle blades and, like, just in that face. And, I mean, you got Joker ripping his own face off a few years ago. And, I mean, you know, there's some serious messed up stuff in DC. But I love it. Because it's just more rooted and grounded in some serious stuff, and that's what I like. But anyways, so what do you guys think? Let us know down in the comment section. leave us a comment and also follow us on social media with that stuff, and let's have a conversation about that. Now,
Caleb also said, "Oh yeah, speaking of Disney, Bob Iger stepped down as CEO."
yeah, Bob. So that's interesting because Bob Iger did he actually step down? I haven't seen that today. Did he actually? I know that there was talking he was
Bob
going
Iger
to.
stepped down as CEO. Is what he said.
Well, there you go. Right. So if Bob Iger if that's the case and Bob Iger actually stepped down, somebody's got to come in. Somebody's going to have to make a name for themselves. Somebody's going to have to like solidify themselves. What better way to do it than be like, let's go after DC.
Yeah.
Right? Anyways, so moving on to topic number 2 today, we're going to talk Star Wars.
I thought we were going to do another DC thing.
What was the other DC?
Wonder Woman and Batman.
Wonder Woman and Batman. Oh.
I'm not showing
Oh,
Cheetah, but they're
yeah,
showing
sorry.
that we get Cheetah.
All right, moving on to topic number 2, which is also DC related, is Batman pictures and video came out this week, and we haven't talked about this yet.
On my phone.
Oh, pictures. I was
Yep.
like, what do you mean pictures?
And we haven't
I
talked
don't
about
remember.
this yet, right? Interesting. Isaac, what do you think of the Batman photos and videos?
Say,
Completely different than you do.
even though it's the first set, I love the suit.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
He showed me pictures
'Cause-
on why, and I understand that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It reminds me a lot of not Year Zero, but Zero Year.
Yes. Yeah, I know.
It
Yeah.
reminds me a lot of Zero Year because
I know.
he has that very minimalistic looking thing.
Sure.
But it also reminds me of the Arkham games, which for me the Arkham suits are my favorite suits for any Batman like costume, and it reminds me a lot of both of those.
Okay.
Because this movie is supposed to be the beginning of Batman,
Yeah.
like very early on, so this will be like his first version of the suit, or one of his first versions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm hoping that that's what it is, right? That it's just that first version. I just think that cowl looks hideous. It's just so bad, and from what they've said is that this wasn't supposed to be an early on Batman. This was supposed to be an established Batman that was established in this world already, and that we weren't getting an origin story. So it's confusing because they've said that it's not supposed to be based on year 1, and then all of a sudden the other day they're releasing like all these pictures from
riding motorcycles and
from year 1.
Yeah.
Right? And so that's confusing. And I don't know, it didn't look to me like a polished Batman. You know what I mean? Like when you're saying, this is Batman, but it makes sense why they released that little trailer last week, because they wanted that to be the first that people saw.
Not, is that photo real or is it fake?
Yeah, right. And so the interesting thing though is he looks better in that little video than he does, I think, in the other. So I don't know. What did you think of it, Tiffany? What did you think of the pictures?
I actually don't mind the suit. It's not like my favorite because we've obviously with our generation we've seen a lot more suits, and we grew up. It's kind of like that same feeling we have where we fell in love with Josh Hartley as our Green Arrow, and he fell in love with Amell. So it's like the two different versions. So to me, I do like the suit. I'm not like completely in love with it, but I like it.
This, I have to agree with what's being said here, what Caleb is saying, and then also Trey, and that is, and I'll agree with you even. The suit itself doesn't look that bad. The actual suit from the neck down doesn't look that bad. That cowl is just what makes it look cheap.
It looks like he's popping his cowl collar.
Yeah, I don't even, what? Like I didn't dig the collar at first, but it kind of reminds me of the Gaslight, Gotham by Gaslight thing, and so I actually kind of dig that. Like that's pretty cool.
I'm also thinking if they do CGI the cape, if they CGI cape on, that can be like where the cape goes in.
Yep. I just don't like that cowl. The cowl looks weird. It looks cheap. It looks plasticky. It looks like, and it's got those two little nubber things up there that just don't even look like they're real. Like I don't even know what they are.
And I remember that was the question. Like when we got the videos, it's like, does he have the short ears, or does he have like Ben Affleck's, or does he have the really long ones like the comics?
Yeah. I don't know, man.
It just sounded like he was having like with the bears. He's like a little nubbers coming out.
Yeah. Also, so that's Batman news, and that remains to be seen. You know, like I'm withholding all judgment. I'm trying to withhold all judgment about.
And it's also the first set.
Caleb says, "I just don't know how he went from Dark Knight Batfleck to Twilight Sparkly Battinson."
Well, I'm trying to withhold judgment on that because you know the thing is like.
There's actually one thing that I saw this week. It was a post and it said, "This is what everybody's seeing Pattinson as," and it showed Twilight, and it shows
Yes.
what he actually is, and it showed the movies he did after.
Yes.
And like, so I was like, okay, what movies are these from? So I looked at tiny clips like from those movies, and I can actually see him as Batman now.
Yeah.
After watching those clips.
Yeah. So I agree. Like I'm trying not to look at it as he is. You know, the Twilight guy. I'm trying to look at it as, you know, he's done these other movies, he's done these serious movies. Yeah. Obviously, somebody saw something in him. You know, Matt Reeves saw something in him. You know, that's all we can do. And we're obviously not getting Batfleck back. So that's the other Batman story this week, is that Ben Affleck actually came out and said why he left. Now, here's the interest. Yeah. Here's what puts another kind of like wrench into this whole thing. He was going to do this movie.
Yeah.
This movie directed by Matt Reeves.
He was going to write, direct, and star.
Was going to have Ben Affleck in it. Yeah. Ben originally wrote his own script and was going to do his own one, like you said.
And it was supposed to be before PBS.
Yep. But then he backed out of that and said, "No, I don't want to direct it. I don't want to do it." They bring in Matt Reeves. Matt Reeves has all these ideas. They're talking or whatever. But Ben Affleck admitted that his alcoholism got the best of him, and that he realized he couldn't keep going, and that he actually showed the script to a friend and said, "It's a good script, but if you do it, you're going to basically kill yourself doing it, and you're going to end up in a whole lot of world of hurt." And so he wisely stepped back. Now here's the thing. There's two sides of that for me. There's a side of me that is a realistic human being that says, good for him.
Yeah.
Right? And the other side says, dude, just put down the bottle and be Batman. Come on, man. You know, you're not Tony Stark. You're Batman. You know, and it's real life, though. You know, and so you got to understand that. But to know that this could have been Batman, now that makes me want to know what this story is even more, where the DCEU version of Batman could have played this part. Yeah. How did it affect the story?
Yeah, or are they going to... Because that's one thing I'm wondering, like, with Flashpoint coming up, is, like, is this going to be Earth 1 Batman, or are they going to pull a Joker and be like, this isn't another Earth somewhere, but we're not going to say what Earth?
Yeah.
And pull, like, a Joker with this?
I don't know.
But, yeah.
I don't know. But what do you guys think? Are you guys looking forward to seeing Robert Pattinson as Batman? Did you like this? Did you not like this? These photos and the video that came out. Also, what do you think of Ben Affleck and his comments about why he turned down the role, why he walked away from the role eventually? Let us know. All right, let us know down in the comment section. For those of you wondering, I'm doing this because I'm going to split up this video and do these as different videos as well. So we're doing the live video, obviously, and then we'll split that up so that people can watch other videos. So then, got some Wonder Woman news.
Yep. It was this past weekend with whatever... Was it a toy fair that was this past weekend?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, for any marketing they did for Wonder Woman 84, they showed, like, all the stuff. It started with the pops, and then it was more stuff later on throughout the weekend. But they'd show, okay, we're getting the pop for Wonder Woman during the movie, we're getting Steve, we're getting Maxwell Lord, we're getting Cheetah in her jacket and cheetah print pants, and then we're gonna get the Kingdom Come suit for Wonder Woman. And then they showed like this black silhouette of Cheetah. Right. So they didn't show what she looks like.
In the cast, yeah. Like
but they pretty much said, "Hey, we're getting Cheetah, like the comic book Cheetah in Wonder Woman 1984."
Yeah. So I'm excited about that because we've been wondering about that.
Yeah.
Are we going to actually see Cheetah? Are they going to do something else with her?
Yeah, and that was part of my theory with the plot of the movie. Is what my theory was. I said it a few weeks ago on the live stream, but we haven't really had a chance for a video.
Possible spoilers for Wonder Woman if his theory is true. So just make yourself aware of that.
Yeah. So as we know, Maxwell Lord gets that rock, and what his thing is I'll give you something, but I want something in return. So what I think his is going to be is he gives Wonder Woman Steve, because she never got to see him after he flew off from that plane and then blew that up. So I think that's how he comes back. But she doesn't want to do what Maxwell Lord wants in return, which of course is going to be something evil, and she isn't going to turn it down. But because she set up that friendship with Cheetah, I think she's going to do something that's going to make her mad, or she's going to find out and get jealous, and then she's going to go to Maxwell Lord. And what her thing is going to be is she gets powers to fight Wonder Woman, but in return she has to take her out. So I'm thinking by the end of it, after everything's been resolved, maybe both Cheetah and Wonder Woman fight against Maxwell Lord, stop that, and then so that's going to destroy the stone, giving Wonder Woman like her final goodbye to Steve. And then that takes away Cheetah's powers. That's what I'm guessing. Or she permanently stays like that.
Or she's permanently, yeah, I could see her being permanently that way, and maybe kind of running off.
Yeah, and keeps that conflict between her and Wonder Woman.
Yeah, because I don't want her to die. So that's interesting. What do you think of that, Tiff?
I think it's a good idea. I mean, he's the one that kept showing me all the pictures.
Yeah.
And so he's like, look, it means that Cheetah's going to be in it. And I actually think that, Kristen Wiig is going to do a good job as it, because, she's funny, which is good, but she's serious when she needs to be. I mean, the outfit she was wearing when she was wearing that, like, black dress, and she's walking into the party, and it's just like, dang, she actually, she cleans up well, and it's one of those things that, I think it's going to be, I think it's more in line with what you said, where they're going to be friends, and something's going to happen, and...
Yeah, because that's one thing I thought I said during the first trailer, maybe, when we did the video. It was either the first or second. But I remember saying that I don't like how they're going to be friends. Like, I really like the idea of them being friends. But I was, at the same time, I was also like, okay, that could also lead to them, that fight having more attention to it. And I don't know why, like, all of it just clicked when we saw Birds of Prey, but it did. Like, when we saw the trailer during Birds of Prey.
Yeah.
I leaned over to Logan and told Logan, he's like, yeah, that seems accurate.
Gavin just said, oh my god, just caught my big sister sneaking in. I should make her buy me a VPN.
Or make her watch Point Extra Lounge with you. So, anyway, so what do you guys think of Wonder Woman? What do you think of Cheetah? What did you think of the pictures of the toys from Toy Fair, from McFarlane Toys?
Yeah, it started with the pops.
And some of the pops.
Led to the others.
I can't wait to get one of those Wonder Woman action figures. Yeah. I mean,
that gold suit.
Oh, that gold suit looks fantastic. Yeah. Looks fantastic. All right, let us know about that and what you guys think about that. Moving on to our next topic, it is time to talk some Star Wars. Star Wars. Lots of Star Wars news came out yesterday.
Caleb says, I can't wait for Wonder Woman 84.
World War 84.
Yeah.
Quite a ways in the future there.
That's what happened.
Okay, so we're going to talk Star Wars now. Lots of interesting things with Star Wars. So they've had this thing that they've been hinting at was what's that?
She said she was tired, and I said skimpy wang, which is something that she thought I said earlier when we were working on my room.
Nice. So this is the last and final topic.
Yeah.
Star Wars. So they've had this Project Luminosity. That's been a secret thing for a while.
I thought it was Luminous.
Yeah, Luminous. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Project Luminous. That has been around for a while. We don't know we didn't know what it was. Didn't know what it entailed. Whatever. And here's the thing: there's all these reports that they were supposed to announce what the next movie was going to be.
Yeah.
On Monday. Yeah.
But the people that did it said, don't expect a video game, don't expect a movie, don't expect different things.
So we didn't get any movie news about what the next movie is. But we got this whole thing about Star Wars: The High Republic, starring a character from South Park named Towie. Because he's only going to get a little high. He's a little High Republic. No, just kidding. He's not in the movie either.
I wouldn't give that dude a saber.
But isn't it? I thought it was supposed to be a spin-off.
All with a lightsaber.
I thought it was supposed to be a spin-off from a Mace Windu story and the Kylo Ren comics recently.
No, this is set 200 or 300 years before Phantom Menace.
So, wait, how many years?
200 or 300 years before Phantom
100,
Menace.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it'll be between Knights of the Republic and Phantom Menace.
Well, yeah.
Because Knights of the Republic is 1,000.
Yeah. So So this is interesting to me, only in the fact because here's the thing. I'm just going to be honest with you. I know that there are people who really love Old Republic stuff. They love that stuff, and that's fine. That's great. I totally get it. I don't have a problem with that. It's just never done anything for me. I like Darth Revan. I like his story, and I like that. And it's not that I don't want to see what came before, or what happened before, or whatever.
Malgus is my favorite.
But here's the thing. It doesn't feel like they're going to be telling the stories that we want to hear.
Yeah.
They're making up completely new characters that we have no attachment to whatsoever, and that could either be really good. Because, I mean, look at Rebels. Rebels came out. None of us cared about Rebels when it first came out. By the time Rebels was done, like, we had total...
later.
Yeah.
It was, like, everyone's favorite.
Right. We had total investment in it. So it could be good. I want to make sure that you guys understand that I'm not being negative about this, because I'm not. Because I love Star Wars, and I'm sure it's going to be good. But they're making up new villains for this. So, you know, because I heard somebody say, well, yeah, wouldn't it be cool if we saw Darth Revan, if we saw, you know, like Darth Bane and all these, Different, Darths and stuff. Malgus and, Malik and all. But we're not going to see that probably, because that's not what this is.
Yeah, that's like 700 years later.
But see, it doesn't have to be, because nothing in Old Republic is canon anymore.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to. All their tagline is that it's going to be Jedi Knights fighting. We got a picture of a Wookiee Jedi, right? And it looks like a book or whatever.
Yeah. Because Old Republic was the beginning.
Yeah, Caleb says it's taking place 200 years before Episode 1. Yep, the event follows the Jedi Order as they police the outer reaches of the Republic, aka the Outer Rim, as Knights of the Round Table, kind of Texas Rangers fighting style. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
I've been like getting the books recently. The only one I think I don't have is Thrawn Alliances.
Yeah.
I think that's the only book I'm missing right now.
So, but these books and all these things are like completely new stories, completely new characters. They're doing children's stuff. They're doing young adult stuff. We don't know what any of this stuff is actually going to look like when it's all said and done. It's just coming. It's coming in August 2020.
Soon.
Yeah, it's going to start that. Now, here's a positive thing. Now, they really didn't give us any information about it.
No.
They really they showed a little vignette thing of a video of a writer's room where basically there was a bunch of writers who got together and they were like, we had a clean slate and we could do anything we wanted to do with Star Wars, and everybody had a different idea about what Star Wars should be, and so we all just started throwing out ideas, and you can literally see them. They got a board, they got a whiteboard, and they're like throwing out ideas about what Star Wars is and stuff, and like part of that's like, well, cool, you got all these people working on Star Wars, and the other part's like, really? That's how you're coming up with your next Star Wars idea? Like somebody didn't come in and go, guys, we've got this awesome Star Wars idea. We've got to do this. No, it's like, what did you think of Star Wars? Okay, let's write stuff. It's like a business meeting, seminar kind of thing. What did you think of Star Wars, Tiffany? What are some things that you pulled out of it? Okay, let's write that down. We're going to come back to that later. Yeah. And we're going to put that in the parking lot over here, and we'll draw it back around to it.
Yeah. My only hope with that is that they don't just completely like crap on Knights of the Old Republic. That's the best way I can put it right now.
Yeah.
Because Knights of the Old Republic pretty much what got everybody into it is it's the beginning of the Jedi and the Sith. That was like the beginning of it. So I'm hoping that this doesn't like completely just terminate that. That's my only hope.
So and so Caleb goes on they're against a villain called the Nil, right? And so a group of space Vikings whose motto is, you can't take it with you, but we can take it from you. That's all we know. That's all
like Spaceballs.
But, so here's a positive though. Here's a positive thing I will say about it. Because one of those writers in that writer's room, Claudia Gray. Claudia Gray wrote Lost Stars. Lost Stars is probably one of the best expanded universe Star Wars stories ever. And why? Because she grounded it in the universe of the original trilogy and a little bit beyond, with the final battle being in Jakku.
Did you also write a Leia book?
Yep, she wrote Leia. She has proven that she gets Star Wars, right? Yeah. And so I like that. My only concern is right now is all this talk of like, oh, we're moving outside of the Skywalker saga. Like we're not like we're just gonna forget the Skywalker saga. I get it. People are there's gonna be people who absolutely love it just because of the timeline, right? And that's fine.
Yeah.
For me, I want to see something that anchors me a little bit to Star Wars. Mm-hmm. And what makes this Star Wars? Like, will Yoda be in it?
Yeah, that's true.
right? Will Yoda have a present? Because if Yoda's in it,
Which Yoda?
Well, he would be 400.
yeah,
400.
yeah. So he'd be younger.
Yeah.
You know, I would like to see that. But you got to
a
get
little bit more in Yoda's species.
Yeah, I mean, you know, will we see some of those Jedi? I feel like I need that.
Yeah, because by Phantom Menace we only know of Yoda and Yaddle. We don't know of any other person from that species until Mandalorian.
Well, and that's the thing is, Mandalorian has done as well as it has because it has just enough connection to things that we've seen before.
Yeah.
It has a connection to Clone Wars. It has a connection to the original trilogy. It has a connection to Rebels. You know, we got the Darksaber. You got a bunch of Mandalorians running around. Come on, right? I mean, you know, you got, so they look like Boba Fett.
Yeah.
But, you know what I mean? But I get it, right? And you know,
but you still have the anchor that ties you to Star Wars.
You have the child, which everybody's been calling Baby Yoda now for a few months. You know that even though it's not Yoda.
And Jon Favreau said next season we get more information on.
Yeah, so there's all these and we went to Tatooine, which some people were ticked about, but you go to Tatooine and you got to see Mos Eisley again, right? You know, there's all these connections. That's what I'm saying with this. And it doesn't appear that they're doing a movie. It doesn't appear that they're doing a TV series. So it looks like it's going to be books, comic books, young readers and stuff like that. So I don't know how much of they're acting like this is going to change the face of Star Wars. But I'm a little concerned that this is not going to be what people think it is. That it's not going to be this big, huge change. Because
this is centuries before Phantom Menace.
Yeah, I feel like there may be a few books that you guys like and read, and maybe a comic book, but I don't know what else you're going to get. You did, Darth Tasty. You came in at just the right time. We're talking Star Wars. Caleb says, I'm actually looking forward to not having ties to the main saga. It really opens up the universe to all new things, and that is really exciting to me. Darth says, I really think that the books are going to lead into a movie. Yeah. That's great. It's speculation, though, at this point, because...
We just got it announced yesterday.
Yeah, so...
About 24 hours ago.
Yeah, so, I think if it does, it's going to take a while. They're going to have to build up those characters and make people care about them. Yeah. But I think, though, that once people see that this is probably doesn't have anything to do with Old Republic stuff.
Yeah, and pretty much the only tie that we technically have to Star Wars is a Wookiee, which is right on the cover.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the only tie we have right now that we know of.
Unless it's Chewie.
Yeah.
It could be Chewie.
Yeah.
Chewie, well, it's a couple hundred years old, I guess. Maybe not. Well, he's 400. Was he 400?
By the time
of episode 6, I think. He's like 400 and something years old.
So he'd be...
Or is he 2 something? I can't remember how old.
You'll say if he was 400, then he'd be, by the time this book started, he'd be about just under 200.
Well, if it's 200 years before, he'd be about 200.
Yeah, Phantom Menace to episode 6 is about 40 years. 1 to 6, if I remember correctly.
Trey says, speaking of Rebels, there is a picture for the High Republic showing all of the Jedi, and there is a Loth Wolf next to them.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, give us some of those connections. That's what I need.
Darth Tasty said Chewie's only a couple hundred years old. I believe he's too young.
Yeah, he might be.
Yeah.
Like I said, I get it. Caleb, I get it. There's a lot of people.
Too.
There's a lot of people who really just want to move on.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that, but it's almost like at the same time, it's like if you have something going that far back, you gotta have a Skywalker tie.
I don't even think you have to have a Skywalker tie. I'm not saying that the Skywalker family, but you have to have
a Skywalker tie.
I got a Skywalker tie. I got a couple.
I made a lightsaber that had a Rancor tooth. He fought a Rancor, therefore I'm a Jedi. I am a Skywalker.
You heard her speak. She has spoken.
Very well, but it did.
I just feel that it has to have some ties to make it feel like Star Wars.
Yeah.
I don't feel like you can just throw a bunch of characters at us and in a bunch of books, because here's the reality. Most fans honestly are not going to read that stuff.
Yeah, because like the Timothy Zahn trilogy, we had Luke, we had Han, we had Leia.
Well, and here's the thing: we had all those things like in what is Legends now, and I talk to people all the time, and they're like, "Wait a second, Han and Leia had twins? They had what? They had kids. Luke married a woman and had a son. Huh? Like they don't know any of that stuff happened, and that stuff's been around for 30 years. People just they're not going to read this stuff because they're only going to see the stuff that's in the movies and on Disney Plus.
Darth said he just looked it up. 238 is how old.
Oh, okay. Chewie is.
So he would be born just after this book.
Yeah, he'd be born just after. Yeah. So, you know, so I'm just trying to be realistic because I think that a lot of people are like really excited about it because they're like, oh, this is cool. We're going to get all this stuff about it. But I'm just not sure that we're going to get all the things that people think. I think that it might be a lot more limited than what everybody is really looking at. You know, that if it's not a movie, most of the people who like Star Wars or know anything about Star Wars aren't going to see it.
Yeah.
If it's not on Disney Plus and a series, most people aren't going to see it and know what it is. So
especially if they don't advertise on stuff like this that everybody sees all the time.
Books are great. Books are great. I love books. I got a whole shelf of Star Wars books right over here, right? That's filled with Star Wars Legends books. But it's a treasure trove of knowledge that I have about Star Wars. You know, they got erased, but it's a treasure trove of knowledge that I have that I'm able to talk to people about. But a lot of people that I know don't know anything about that stuff.
Because like me, I'm starting to collect like the new stuff, like the stuff that's either now Legends or like the new books coming out. Like I have Thrawn, I have Lost Stars, I have the Legends trilogy for Timothy Zahn.
Yeah. As far as VPNs go, I don't think a VPN is like a physical thing that you buy. Isn't it like?
It's an app that you buy.
It's like an app. Yeah.
So if it's on your computer, you have to install it
as a program.
Yeah, as a program, and then if you do it from your phone, you have to buy it through the app.
Yeah. So go and check out ExpressVPN.
Yeah.
ExpressVPN. That seems to be the best. That seems to be the most the most known, and a lot of people use it. Most popular. And then it's like it works like a app, like you said, or like a program on your computer, depending upon if you're Apple or PC based, and you can pretty much start using it right away. Once you figure out how it works.
Trace said we could also get Darth Plagueis. I can't read my eyes.
I would love that.
I can't read it because of my
so
eyes.
we can also get Darth Plagueis during the High Republic because the race he is in, Legends, is a moon. They live for a very long time, but I don't know if they will go for that in canon. Yeah. So you bring up a good point here, because here's the thing. In Legends, he's immune.
Yeah.
They have not established that Darth Plagueis is definitely and definitively immune.
Yeah, all we know is from what Darth Sidious says in the movies at this point.
Yeah.
Now that book's legend.
Hey, I read Plagueis, Darth Plagueis. I got it right over there. I'm looking at it right now. Darth Plagueis was a great book. I loved what they did with it and how they explained it. None of that stuff is canon anymore.
Yeah. So now all we have is...
They could canonize it at some point.
Yeah. So now all we have right now is just the prequels.
But I would love to see Darth Plagueis. I'd love to see that. I mean, if they did that, that's what I'm talking about, though, right? It doesn't have to be Luke. It doesn't have to be Anakin. It doesn't have to be that stuff, right? But something that Star Wars fans can go, hey, that's a connection point there for me to get in. But like I said, is it really going to matter if... well, I'll tell you what. If they bring in Darth Plagueis, I'm definitely going to go out and buy that and read that, right? But like, I'm going to actually kind of bide my time with it a little bit. I don't think I'm going to like get all giddy about it right now. Yes. Who we got here? Caleb?
Yeah, I think there's me one that like I'm going to...
Oh, Dark Tasty says NordVPN is great as well. I have heard Nord. I've heard that NordVPN is also great, so you may want to do a little comparison
shopping.
shopping.
My glasses, I thought it said NerdVPN.
Nope, it's Nord, which is funny because my sister
married a Nord.
Is a Nord. My sister's a Nord. Yes, so I do a little comparison shopping between the two. I think those are the two best ones: NordVPN and ExpressVPN. Right? So look those two up. The same way, I never got into the EU. I know about Mara Jade and the Solo Twins until Disney wiped it away. My EU is Lost Stars, Rebels, and Leia books. That's fine. Mara Jade, though, is one of the best things that ever happens. There's more here. Hold on a second. And I'm hyped for the High Republic. that's awesome, man. You know, like I don't have anything against that. I will say this: Mara Jade is awesome. That's my stuff because it's stuff that had to do with what happened after Return of the Jedi and set up a whole new world. And
Quote Aladdin.
yeah, to quote Aladdin, I love that. Darth Tasty says, I don't know if you saw my previous comment, but Yoda and Yaddle in it as well.
The High Republic?
In the High Republic, yeah. And then said Plagueis was awesome. Yeah, so Darth Tasty, we talked about that a little bit. You may have been before you came in. But we talked a little bit about that, about Yoda and Yaddle, and like that would be another thing. Like if Yoda and Yaddle, if Yoda's in it, there's that connection point, right? That's the kind of connection points I'm talking. Like, I just don't think that you can start a whole new thing and just say, this is what Star Wars is going to be now.
Yeah. Or this is what led to Star Wars.
Yeah. Just by throwing a bunch of writers in a room and saying, hey, come up with something. And like, this is what your Star Wars is going to look like now. Because I think that even if they make something great, like look at Rebels. Rebels was put together by Dave Filoni, right? And Rebels was phenomenal. And like we said before, we actually cared about those characters by the end of it. We loved those characters by the end of it, right? We wanted more of those characters by the end of it. But even Rebels had connection parts to the Star Wars we love and know. You know, through what Darth Vader was in it.
Vader, Thrawn.
Yeah. Vader, Thrawn, Yoda.
Malik Carter just said, what if
Ahsoka.
Harry Potter was in the Star Wars universe?
That's a whole other thing.
And Gavin just
We're
said...
nerd enough to talk about that, but not tonight.
And Gavin just said, I told her to do the Express VPN. Sis doing it right now. Hope it's done before you guys go so I can tell you, man.
All right.
And I can't read the other two because my brain...
Says, well, they did it with Old Republic. He said when it first came out, it had little to no ties to the main saga. Why is this different?
Pretty much. Well, that's Old Republic. It didn't have like the original saga ties, but it was the beginning of the light and the dark side.
Yeah.
So like as soon as you say, "Hey, this is the beginning of this," then you get people interested. And
It's got to have a compelling story.
Yeah.
Right.
Like with this, it's like it's just saying, "Oh, it's gonna be like a nice round table type thing, 200 years before Phantom Menace."
Yeah.
So it's like, what's the reason?
We
to
were
get
in
excited
Knights of
for
the Round
this?
Table when we made our when we made our sabers.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm not
Yeah,
hating
no
on
versus
it.
Darth Vader.
Gandalf.
He was one last week that brought up the question: Superman versus Darth Vader.
Superman wins. Yeah. Malik, Superman wins in that. And that's you can actually see that online. There's actually a superhero beatdown. I think it's on YouTube.
I was talking about that last week.
Where
he was asking
where
the question.
Darth Vader actually fights Batman, and they fight back and forth, and then at the very end, Superman gets involved, and you can see what happens there. No, I'm not saying Caleb and Darth Tasty and others, Trey. I'm not saying that it can't work. I'm not trying to poo-poo on it and be like it's gonna suck or whatever.
Yeah, I get what you're saying because it's like I'm excited for it, but it's not gonna be something I'm gonna pick up day one.
Yeah, I want to know about it.
Yeah.
But like even as a Star Wars fan, I'm not gonna be like, oh, I just gotta consume it, right? You know what I mean? Like you gotta give me something.
How I am with this is like I'm gonna catch up on the books first that I want to read, like the Star Wars book that I want to read because I still haven't read Thrawn yet, and I finished Lost Stars. Like I haven't read the Timothy Zahn trilogy yet, so I still gotta read that. I also wanted to read Thrawn, and I still gotta read Thrawn Alliances. So it's like before I get into this one now, I want to finish the ones
Malik
first.
says, could Scarlet Witch's powers affect the Force?
I don't think so. I think it's a different thing. It's just a different thing. The Force.
There's
the
more
Force
magic.
Yeah, where the Force flows through every living thing.
Trey says, I'm feeling the same exact way you guys are.
Yeah, I'm just being. I'm not saying it's gonna suck. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not.
We're excited to see what's gonna be.
Yes, we're definitely excited because it's Star Wars, and I always want more Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
I always want more Star Wars.
We're just curious.
I'm just curious and cautiously optimistic at this point. I know that some people are just loving it because they love the idea of it being set 200 years before that. But I think some of that though is just that love of Old Republic. And I'm not sure that this is going to be that.
Yeah.
So, but you know what? We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. And that's what I love about the fact that we have other people here in the Point Extra Lounge to talk to about this, and have other points of views, because we don't all have to share the same point of view. But we all love each other. We all get our nerd on here in the Point Extra Lounge, and so, hey, that's what it is. I miss these conversations. I miss these
Caleb
conversations.
says, I always feel like there's so much to read and watch and stuff, and I can't read the rest because my eyes.
He says, but with the High Republic, it's a clean slate. I can hop right in with Light of the Jedi by Charles Soule and not be confused. It's like when I jumped into DC with New 52. Maybe. We don't know yet. We don't know yet. And look, I know.
I actually have to run to the bathroom.
There are people who love New 52, and then there are people who absolutely hate New 52 too. So
there's some stories I like from New 52, but
yeah,
most of New 52.
I think it's a very it's taking a risk. It's taking a risk, and like I said, I don't think that it's going to be this overnight success. Depending upon what they do. If they tell stories that intrigue people and like reveal things about the Force and about the universe and everything, like just to see some knights run around and fight some Vikings in space, that's not intriguing to me.
Yeah.
I need a story. I need to know why. Why do I want to watch this thing, or why do I want to read this thing about these characters doing what they're doing?
Especially Vikings is like a popular thing right now, because there was like a Vikings show that was like very popular. I don't know if it's still running, but I remember because our dad and Sora were watching that show. I think it's called Vikings.
Oh really?
Yeah, and then now people are wanting for the next Assassin's Creed game. They want it to be Vikings, like set in that time period.
Well, we had vampires for the longest time. Now we're on to the next V word.
Yeah,
Vikings.
And then now, Vikings in the High Republic.
He says here, Man of Sand says, anybody here seen the Star Trek Continue series on YouTube? I have not.
I haven't either.
I have not seen Star Trek Continues. But you got my curiosity piqued by just the name alone. Trey says, going back only 200 years from the Phantom Menace isn't enough to get me hyped, but just enough to interest me. Yep.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like I'm not hyped, but I'm interested.
Yeah.
Right. So that's a great way to explain it. Caleb says, I just mean it's a new starting point for people. I know people who love and hate New 52, but are grateful for having a starting point to the awesomeness that is DC. Pretty sure they're going back more than 200 years. Darth Tasty, so far what I read says it's only 200 years. That it's not going back any further right now.
I haven't read much into it today.
I've read everything that I could find on it, and it says it's going back 200. That this story takes place 200 years before the events of the Phantom Menace. Okay. But see that's another thing that I'm thinking is because I know Darth Tasty, I know that you love because we've had many conversations about this, that you love Old Republic.
Yeah.
Right? So my concern is are people seeing what they want to see? Right? Like, so they hear High Republic and they're like, oh, that means Old Republic.
Yeah.
Which in reality,
that was
it
the
may
first
not.
thing that I thought of until like I saw, okay, this is what it's supposed to be.
But it's not really.
Yeah. And that's what I said at the beginning when we started talking about it. Is like I'm hoping that they don't just completely like. First, the best way I put it was like crap on it, because like I've been saying, it's pretty much the beginning of the light and dark side conflict.
Well, and here's the thing: is if you like, if you really like the Old Republic, remember what happened to all of us who love the EU.
Yeah.
Right. So our EU got totally erased, including Mara Jade and characters that we absolutely loved. Be careful what you wish for sometimes, because stuff can come in and go, yep, all that stuff that you loved, all those characters and everything, they don't exist anymore. Now, I think Revan will somehow survive.
Well, yeah, with how popular Revan's became.
Well, and they just released new toys of it. But hey, they released a Jaina Solo last year. So, and she's from the EU, so they're still going to capitalize on some of those characters.
Yeah, with how hyped up Revan's gotten over the years, I don't see them getting rid of Revan.
No, and they got a Revan lightsaber.
Yeah.
It's coming out that I just pre-ordered.
Yeah.
That I'm pretty excited about. That turns red and purple.
Yeah, you
so,
were telling me about that.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. So, you know, but some of the other things that you might like about Old Republic could get erased.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll be interesting to see if they go in that direction where they're like, oh, well, we got to redo some of this stuff to tell our story. I'll be interested to see how people react then.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that should.
Man of Sin said, "You really need to check it out. Star Trek Continues is fantastic. If you love the original show, you'll love this. Please see it and even review it for us."
Okay. The fourth and final season for Star Trek, the original series. Nice.
Yeah. And then Trey Harper said they confirmed it's 200. And he said, "You're right, it's just it's 230 in BBY."
Yep. Remembering, Dorothy says, remembering off, there's a movie called Last Jedi that tried to do something new. Remember, Enosh?
Mm-hmm.
I do remember, and I remember how people responded to it.
You eat member berries?
I remember. You remember? I remember how people responded to that. What if Obi-Wan didn't go to Mustafar with Padme?
Oh.
Then she's probably dead.
Mm-hmm.
She probably dies. Then, and not in childbirth. At Caleb Richardson, I only recently saw it this week and was blown away. Its quality, total binge watch for me. Well, I'm gonna have to watch that.
Yeah.
I just remember that you love it. Absolutely. That's what I said. Look, I could love it. You know, it could be great. It could be great. But because it's in book form right now, it's probably going to be. Well, I'm probably going to go off of hearing it from other people.
Yeah.
Of what they think about it. And that may be enough to inspire me to go read the book.
I think,
you know,
I'm gonna be like, if I hear it's good, I'm gonna try and like hear as little as I can about it so I can read it.
Yes.
Or I'm like, if I'm hearing that it's bad, then I'm gonna be like, okay, I want to read it to see what I think of it.
What's up, Harley? Whoa! Hey, Harley Quinn in the house.
Pretty girl.
Well, speaking of that, guys, hey, thanks for joining us tonight, as always. Love you guys. We always love doing live streams and,
Dog pile.
oh my goodness, talking about stuff. Look at that tail.
It's a
Hey,
mile
what's
a
up,
minute.
Wookie boy?
It's a mile a minute.
This is, whoa, holy cow. It's getting crazy up in here. Yeah, it's like an earthquake of...
Dog quake.
It's a dog quake. Love it. All right, I'm going to straighten this a little bit. But hey, guys, thanks for joining us tonight, as always. We love watching stuff with you. Don't forget, this Friday we will be watching the next episode of Clone Wars. And so did you... Whoa! Get to watch the replay of that. Holy cow. Did you watch Clone Wars?
No, with that series, I think I'm gonna pull up Supergirl with that and rewatch it from the beginning.
Okay.
Cause I was thinking about it, cause I was talking to my friends about it on Monday, cause they asked if I started and said no, I haven't watched the new season yet. We said yeah, cause he remembered like when he was younger watching it from the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, yeah, I kind of did the same thing, so I don't remember as much from it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna kind of rewatch it again and then catch up to the most current season.
Okay. Okay.
Gavin said she has done it, guys.
What's that?
VPN.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. Well, we can't wait to hear the update from you, man. If you were able to watch The Flash.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Well, you have an extra week because they're not coming back for...
That's right. You got 2 weeks, right? You got 2 weeks to get caught up on Flash stuff. So, and let us know. Leave us some comments.
Good for you, bad for us.
Send us some messages. No more dog quakes. Follow us on social media and you know, leave a post and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. Well, until next time, thanks for joining us. We always love it, and we love having conversations with all of you. Until next time, I'm Enosh, aka Enosh Fett, along with the lovely
Dogtastic. I mean, Tifftastic.
and
Isaac Juan Kenobi
and Harley Quinn and
Wookie Bear.
Wookie. Hey, are you gonna be a Jedi?
Yeah.
There you go, guys. All right, we will see you next time. Stay nerdy. All right. And we always got more videos coming out. I got more toy videos. If you guys didn't see the post, I got tons of toys now.
You and I also have to do our review of Galaxy's Edge.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do our live stream of Galaxy's
But we
Edge.
had-
We didn't get to do it this last Saturday, so
But we have like Ash Wednesday tomorrow and stuff like that.
yeah. So we got stuff
kids and
coming up,
stuff.
but we're gonna get on that and like talk about Galaxy's Edge because we need to talk about Galaxy's Edge. All right, guys. Till next time, stay nerdy.
Say goodnight, Tiff.
Good night, Tiff.